Smoke one spliff, get eye to the rhythm. JeRant. We waiting for JeRant. JeRant. We waiting for JeRant.
Wait no more. I promise you, you don't have to wait another second. It is I'm here. Welcome to the show, everybody. It is time for another episode of Friday Unplugged, the best show that's ever existed. I think if you look at the polls, that's what I've seen. I don't know about you guys. We've got episode number 7 today. It is February the 2025. And this show is supposed to start at 3 p.m. Pacific. It shows up in the right-hand corner, and we are late today. But you can blame Nissa for that. Just don't tell her I said so. So we've got a phone. We are live right now on Rockfin. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Rumble and Facebook, I believe. I haven't checked on Facebook. We might not be live there, but we could be. So welcome to the show. Hopefully you guys are ready for a little bit of fun. We are calling today's episode, Who is to Blame? Sorry, I have to fix my volume here. It's a little quiet. A little bit extra. There we go. That's a little better, I think, maybe. Just got to be more in front. That's probably it. Let's twist this like that. There we go. That sounds better. All right. Who is to blame for flat earthers? What do you guys think? What is the consensus there? Who is to blame for that one particular belief system that I was caught up in for 10 years? By the way, shout out to Nick Havoc and the others that are starting to come out of the woodworks and admit that they were wrong, that we were wrong, that I was wrong. So is it my fault that people were flat earthers? Well, it could be. Could be. The education system? Maybe. The internet? Probably. NASA? Certainly. Hollywood? Probably. Conspiracy industrial complex? I don't know. Is that such a thing? Could be such a thing. Regular scientists? We'll get to that. The general public? There's a lot of people that could be involved or could be responsible for this. And the fact that it's going to be very tough to get some of the hardcore believers to realize that they're wrong. But we're going to go over that. We're going to talk about Kyle from the Globebusters had a video about me that he got wrong, so we have to cover that. And we will also give away a prize. You guys want to get a prize? Let's see who wants to win this, though. I don't know who wants to win it. What do we got for today? We got this very nice. I saw this in my closet. I'm like, I can get rid of this thing. This is the FE Coin series. Okay? Look at this. In a nice case. See this thing? Have you ever seen anything so great in your life? The FE Coin series. You can go to bluemoonbase.com. What's better than that? And what do you get? You get a bunch of coins like this that are all basically pictures of debunked maps. So, I mean, who doesn't want that? Like, let me see this one here. A debunked map. You might want that one. Or this one here is a debunked map. You want the debunked map, this one? Get that debunked map if you want. There's a lot of debunked maps here you can get. So, somebody's going to win that tonight. Who's going to win it? I don't know. We're going to get there. We will give it away, and I will send it to you free shipping courtesy of, well, I don't know, USPS or something. All right, let's look at the chat. I did have a poll up. Let's see if people got the poll. All right, we have a good amount of people. There we go. That's pretty smart. So the question was, on a sphere Earth of 24,901 miles, in circumference, how much curvature exists for every 660 feet? 10% said 2 inches, and they were very, come on, Enrique, can you be a little quicker? Jesus, you're so slow. 4 inches, 6% said that. 6 inches said 14%. But 70% got it correct. It is 1/8 inch.
Yes. Yes.
No, that's yes. Don't play it twice. Just play it once. Thank you. Yes. Enrique, you're going to get fired.
Yes. Yes.
So, yes, we can look forward to that. That's 1/8 inch, though. I mean, if you think about that, think about 1/8 of an inch. That is so tiny. 660 feet is 2 football fields in length with the end zones. You might want to think about it. Those of you who keep saying the Earth is measured flat, well, that's a globe talking point. We're going to keep that poll. Oh, we'll just end it now that I give the answer. Let's end the poll. That was fun. Thank you very much for participating. So YD says, JeRant, are you a full-on globe believer now? I thought you said AE map doesn't work, so back to the drawing board. Right, so yeah, YD, there is no other map. And I don't know how many times I got to explain this, but I'm kind of getting tired of it. There can be no other map. There'll never be another map. So if you want to fall for people saying, we don't have a map and we just are cool with being, I mean, you can fall for that if you want. Anybody who has been around, anybody who recognizes reality, the way things actually work, knows that there can be no other map. Let's draw a map right now, shall we? Okay, erase everything we've ever been told. All right, where do we start? North Pole. Okay, we got the North Pole there. That's a place that exists in reality. The North Celestial Pole would be above that. All right, good start. Now we got to lay out the continents. Anybody have any good ideas for the way the continents should be laid out? I'm thinking that they have to be laid out the way they are in reality. It's probably important. So if we do that, oh shit, it's the AE map. Fuck, damn it. Let's try again. Start over. All right, so we got the North Pole, North Celestial Pole, the tropics, the Tropic of Capricorn, Cancer, Equator. Okay, good. Now what's next? Continents, huh? Shit, I think I know where this is going. Can we lay out the continents in another order or some other way? Can we like figure out a way to lay out? No, just the same way? Because they have to be that way because that's reality? God damn it. It's the AE map again. All right. Well, I guess the AE map is the only map. So once it's been debunked, which it has been, then there is no other questions. The Earth is not, will not be, cannot be ever flat. I mean, it's just, it sucks. For 10 years, I was telling people the alternative, and many people are very confused as to, what, did you throw away all your other evidence? Did you? No, but there is clear, I was going to say dequalifiers. There is clear disqualifiers, if you will, for the AE at this point. Many of them. I listed 8 a couple weeks ago, and they haven't gotten any better, to be honest with you. They have not gotten any better. Hey, let's start out with something fun, should we? Do we want to see who's going to get their hand raised? Who is it going to be that is going to take home the cake and basically be the victor? Who is it that got the esteemed honor of being your Dirtball of the week? Who's it going to be? Let's go. Let's find out.
Try to be best, well this week you're the man. Yeah, there's no way that you can escape it. Hard to believe you went and did that stuff. Such a dirtball, that's a mistake. History repeats itself. Try hard and you'll succeed. Every Friday when we name another Dirtball of the week, you're the best around. Dirtball of the week, enjoy your crown. You're the best around. With Dirtball levels are just a sound. You're the best around. Ain't nobody that can keep this Dirtball down.
Watch out for the shovel. Oh boy, think. This week's Dirtball of the week goes to, you guessed it, Stephen Alfonso Soriano. You are the Dirtball of the week for many, 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 many reasons. And guess what? The Flat Earth predicted it. I know, I looked it up and there it was. Just said Dirtball of the week, Stephen. I'm like, all right, you win. Congratulations, Dirtball of the week, Stephen Alonso.
You're the best around. The very best Dirtball pound for pound. You're the best around. Not just in your town, you're world renowned. You're the best around. It wasn't even close, you won her town.
Why, you ask? We're going to take a look at here in a second, but did you know that Mr. Stephen Alfonso Soriano, besides just saying that the Flat Earth predicted things that it certainly did not, that it stole from the globe, which is very pathetic. Did you know, though? Oops. Sorry about that. My volume's off. Look at Eric Dubay. Not a dirtball at all. Safe. Oh. So Stephen Alonso went too far this week, and I just saw a little, what do you call it, a blurb at the bottom of his website that makes it even worse. And let me explain what's going on here. And do yourselves a favor, if you've got a friend or family member that is a flat earther, you might want to talk to them and warn them about becoming Dirtball of the Week. They don't want to do that. They don't want to be put on that wall of fame. But they might be, if they continue acting in their dirtball ways, doing dirtball things that are obvious. It's in front of everybody. We can all see it happen. It's like, stop being so obviously a dirtball. Stephen Alonso is one of those. So not only is he selling debunked maps all over his website, which, hey, congratulations, you can sell whatever dirtball maps you want. But dirtball maps are also debunked maps. But let's see what he's selling here on his store. You tell me if this is cool of him. Watch this tree get hit. Boom. All right, good. It's fun. It's fun stuff. Look at this over here. We've got Mr. Stephen Alfonso Alonso is selling the Final Experiment hat. So I don't know if you guys have ever done this. What you do is you just go to somebody else's website or somebody else's page and you steal their logo and you put it on your hat and you sell it. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool to do that. Just steal the TFE, put it on there. He didn't even update it. Like, I could understand if you took the logo and wrote your name in it, or debunked, or didn't mean anything, or was a nothing burger, or has confused many of a flat earther for lifetime. Has Saab all fucked up. Has fucking Flatzoid looking like a fool. Spending every day talking about the fakeness of the very real expedition. But how do you sell somebody else's merchandise? Now, let me show you how you do it. You scroll down here at the bottom, and look at this Dirtball did. The final experiment licensing agreement. What? What licensing agreement? Let's ask Will. Will, is there any licensing agreement between you and him?
No, God!
I didn't think so.
No, God, please, no!
Yeah, he's doing it. He's selling it. No, he's doing it. He doesn't even care. He doesn't care.
No!
He doesn't care. He just does whatever he wants. So basically, he asked Will, hey, Will, do you want to go halfers on this? That you could take half the money, I'll take half the money. And Will's response was, no, I don't want to make any money off of it. Thank you very much. So what did he do? He said, well, I'm going to sell it anyway. And I'm just going to put on there that we're going to give $5 to donation. So it says, your purchase makes a difference. Through our licensing agreement with Will Duffy. You could not be a more blatant liar than this guy. And a more dirtball. I don't think it's possible. How do you just put that in there? Through our license, he has no licensing agreement with Will. Will told him no, don't sell it. And he's selling it anyway. Who does not wish to profit from this? $5 from every t-shirt sale goes directly to the Child Mind Institute, a leading nonprofit organization dedicated to transforming the lives of children and families struggling with mental health and learning disabilities or disorders. This donation arrangement was specifically chosen by the copyright holder, who wanted the proceeds to support the Institute's vital work in providing care, advanced science, and delivering. Oh my goodness, dude. This guy is too much. I mean, how do you kick somebody out of the community? I'm not even in the flat earth community and I want this guy gone. I mean, he's selling shirts like this. Who sells the stereographic flat earth model unisex t-shirt? If you are wearing this right now, take it off. Take it off. I don't care if you just have a bra on underneath. Even if you don't have a bra on underneath, it's mandatory. Remove it. Nobody believes this horse shit. Okay? And then you're selling somebody else's merchandise here, and some of the worst shirts I've ever seen in my life. Look at this one. It says, the world map. If you're somebody who's wearing a moon world map, get out. Get out right now. Haven't you seen the way they have to distort everything to get that to even come close to being right? Stephen Alonso, you are the Dirtball of the week. What a dirtball. Thank you very much. I see some super chats coming in. We'll get to those here in a moment. I wanted to start out with a couple things. I want to talk about, let's get some housekeeping. We're not going to do any house cleaning. Housekeeping. We're going to do some housekeeping real quick. We are going to talk about my shop is back open. How about that? Aren't you guys excited? Everybody, talk about how excited you are. Talk amongst yourselves. You're like, yeah, JeRant's shop. It's what I've been wanting this whole week. Been wanting nothing more than that. All right, so you can go to shop.jeranism.com. Those of you who've been waiting for the Moringa, it is back. If you are one of the Globe believers that's now new to the channel, why don't you look into getting some of this Tree of Life raw organic Moringa? Sourced, it's my first ever Jeranism product. If you kind of click through here, you got to go over here. If you click through here, you actually see that it is Jeranism branded. Do I have a picture of the front of the bag? That's good enough. There you go. Jeranism Tree of Life raw Moringa. It's got, look at that. Gram for gram, it has 7 times the vitamin C in oranges, 4 times the beta carotene in carrots, 3 times the iron in spinach, 4 times the calcium in milk, 2 times the protein in milk, 3 times the potassium in bananas, and more fiber than oats. And everybody who's taken it so far has loved it. You know what their unanimous, I don't know what you want to call it, review of it is? That you take great shits. So, I mean, what's better than that? What is better than that? Now, that's what everybody's reports. But many people have bought it twice or 3 times. So it is a great deal. That's where you go. Anyway, if you want to get the Moringa, check it out here. I believe it is shipped free if you are in the US of A. Why does this show... Wait, what's going on? Hold on, we got some problem here. Why does this say sold out and then DHS 149? Okay. Well, the shop was open. I wonder to see if my phone does that. Does my phone say that? What's going on here? Why does it say sold out? We're not sold out unless somebody bought like 36 bags. But let me just see what's going on here. I want to figure this out. Shop.jeranism.com. And let's see what the store says here. No, it's fine. Moringa. I wonder if it thinks I'm in a different country. No, it's available. I don't know what's going on with my computer screen. Guess I got to clear the cache or something. Anyway, that is available now. And if you want to look at the consultations, those are in there as well. The Antarctica USB VIP, if you're interested in that, it's just there, but you have to actually go to WAP, which is down here. There's your link. So anyway, the store's back going. Welcome back. And Selleck's got just basically destroyed by the FBI. So if you are somebody who had a Selleck store, I feel for you as well, as I am without a processor as well. But now we're on Shopify. So what are you going to do? All right, that's that. We also wanted to go to what's going to happen tomorrow. And people want me to live stream this, so I'll try. The hard part is so far I've not had good luck when I do the live stream. It's just better for me to go. We're going to look at Vandenberg. Oops, that's not where I want to go. It's Vandenberg Launch. I always forget to do that. Launch. Launch. There we go. Now we're going here. And it should be, unless they changed it again. No, so it was supposed to be Wednesday. It went on to Saturday. So it's tomorrow at 2:24. I will, if we are having a launch, go live in 21 hours. And we're going to try and have a theodolite app so we can get the direction we're looking and the angles, all that stuff that people have asked for. And then we will be filming it again with the infrared and again with the regular camera. If you are somebody in California, can you please think about possibly getting out with your camera and just recording the launch? If you are north of me or south of me, I think it's still good information. People have been pretty shooken up about that one. There is no answer, by the way. There'll never be an answer. If you don't know what happens, last time it was 1 minute and 5 seconds. Think about this. You're looking at your horizon. It's a flat Earth. You're looking at your horizon. Off in the distance, 177 miles away, a craft is launching. It launches, it takes off, and it takes 1 minute and 5 seconds until that rocket appears on my horizon. So where was it for 1 minute and 5 seconds? That's a long time. Should we wait 1 minute and 5 seconds so we can see how long of a time that is? It's quite long. Okay. And there's no answer for it. You have to invent something called vanished land. So the rocket takes off and it's actually in vanished land for a long time, 1 minute and 5 seconds. And then it comes out of vanished land and appears on the horizon. Now, again, it's stupid to even ask, where was it? Because it was clearly in vanished land. And that's just the way it works in life. That's just how perspective works, of course. So anyway, that is tomorrow. Check it out. Be on my channel. Please be fun. And don't send me ads. Thank you. All right. So we were going to start with, let's get rid of the store. Let's get rid of that. Do we want to start with that video? I guess it's probably, well, I'm going to start here. We're going to start real quick. If you guys don't know, and let me just tell you, because you might not know this, that size matters. Now, I don't know if you've been told something different by some female in your life or some male friend. They're lying. Size most certainly matters. And that goes for the Earth as well. This pissed some people off this week. They weren't very happy on Facebook because they say it's a cartoon. JeRant, what are you showing cartoons for? Well, it's because people can't grasp this. And so let's watch together about how size matters. Everybody likes bigger the better. Exactly. Exactly. All right, let's watch this. There we go. Now, if you're a flat earther, you have to accept this or understand this because it is the answer that you've been looking for as to why does the Earth certainly seem flat? Well, because size matters. So we never think about this. We never think about zooming in on the Earth's sphere and look at these items that are starting to appear. What are those? Are they small? Are those extremely tiny items? Don't like the music though. Actually, we just zoomed in and we're looking at Mount Everest here and the Challenger Deep, the deepest part of the ocean here. That right there is the difference between the highest place on Earth and the lowest. Let's keep zooming in. So, I mean, just stopping here, if you're somebody standing on the side of Everest here, are you going to measure the curvature of the Earth? Probably not. Probably not. Let's keep zooming in. And keep zooming in. And, I mean, even here, are you going to be able to measure the flatness or the curvature of the Earth? No. And you have to think about this. What we're looking at here, if we went to anywhere on the sphere, it would look identical. It's not like we move to the left and we start to find curve. No. This is why I asked the question at the beginning of the show. And you might be saying, well, JeRant, how the hell does that work? And I don't know. I don't know, okay? It's regardless of the point. Don't believe it's not so. It is so. It's just kind of weird for us. It's just different than we're used to. It is magic, but it's also reality. And that's just the way it goes. Again, how many times do I have to tell people when they're giving me a hard time about switching? It's like, do you think I wanted the Earth to be a globe? No, of course not. I talked flat Earth for 10 years. So of course not. But it's good to see the people that are coming out of the woodworks. We've got Nick Havoc doing a good job of, he's very happy. He's no longer a flat earther after 10 years of being laughed at and joked with, or, joked about at work. He finally just said, well, and he's smart. And I don't know why there's not more intelligent people out there, that he looked at the final experiment and said, oh, if you see a sun circling your head in the south, but at the same time it's lighting up the northern hemisphere on the other side of the world, then the Earth's a sphere. I said the same thing. And anybody with even, a slight pulse would say the same thing. We all knew from the beginning of time, from the beginning of flat Earth in 2015, that the flat Earth is dependent on the South being a lie. And it certainly appeared that way. There wasn't good footage. Nobody was really down there. Nobody was doing observations down there. We couldn't figure it out. So we just kept going, thinking that somebody would eventually, and that somebody was Will Duffy. By the way, let me break that up real quick just before we get back to this. We've got something going down on Tuesday. We've got the rewind episode of the final experiment one more time, getting us together. February the 25th. That'll be on Tuesday. You'll get to see the likes of MC Toon, Flat Earther's favorite, Dave McKeegan, all-around good guy. I'll fight people if they say Dave McKeegan's not a good guy. Mark Harmon, I will not fight people if they think Dave... I'm just kidding. Very big fan of Mark. He's very funny, and he filmed me smoking a joint in Antarctica, so he'll always be a friend of mine. Critical Think, funny guy. And we've got Will Duffy there, Satanist, and a fake preacher, and isn't at his church when he's... No, I'm just kidding. That's, of course, what Flat Earthers will tell you, but none of that is true. It's just the way to cope is just lie about people and claim that they are Satanists. We've got Lisbeth joining us, and we've got Jonathan in the house, and we've got myself and Austin Whitsitt, when Whitsitt gets it. We'll all be there, so it should be fun, and I believe Will be driving that. I think we're going to have a Q&A open, so if you've still got questions, like many of people do. I was watching part of the Drunk Debunk show, and he was showing Flatzoid, who I said in my interview with him, I said, oh, I didn't want to ride in the loop with the bike. You should have seen how confused these guys were. They're like, what, the loop? What? Did anybody see a loop? What's he talking about, a loop? It's like, wow, you guys are just on one. I mean, can you imagine? It's like, so to think that you're onto something. I mean, Sav has been doing this for 2 months, and Flatzoid's been doing it for 2 months, and they're all completely wrong. The trip was 100% legit. 100%. And yet these guys have spent 2 months thinking they're dissecting something. They're not. They're not dissecting a thing. So, good for them. Keep doing it. Have fun. Have fun. Nobody cares. All right, so let's... so we did that. We got that one. What were we... Oh, yeah, we're watching that video. Way to go, JeRant. Just interrupt the video right in the middle. Let's go back over there and finish off our little flat Earth... or Earth measured flat image. Now, you'll notice that this is level on this table. Now, those of you who still don't understand Home Depot think that's so funny just because you're a little bit, well, you're not the smartest in the group. Let's put it that way. But if you look at this, you'll see what I mean. That if we built a Home Depot right here on this black square, the Home Depot would be flat and level, and we'd be able to put a level down, and it would say level. And if we built one next to it, what would happen? And if we built one next to it, what would happen? And if we built one next to it, what would happen? Just like we did the poll. The poll question was, in 660 feet, 2 football fields in length with end zones, how much curvature is there? The answer is 1/8 of an inch. Everybody hold up an inch in your hands. I'm sure many of you will be able to do that easily. Hold up an inch in your hand and now go to 1/8 of that. It's literally a sliver. And that is for 2 football fields in length. So if you built 2 football fields and then you walked to the third one to build that one and you started building that, you would never know that you were on a curved earth if it wasn't for, I don't know, maybe things in the sky. He didn't. Flat earthers, you are not allowed to make up your own rules. You sound so dumb. Stop messaging me and saying you can't determine the ground by looking at things in the sky. And then somebody said yesterday, they're not even correlated together. They're completely separate entities. And I said, yeah, well, if we find shoes at a murder scene, right? We can also say that, well, we can't, they're completely separate entities. It's the shoes and a murderer. They're not the same thing. So you can't tell the murderer by the type of his shoes. It's just, what nonsense are you talking about? It's called evidence. Oh, evidence. Yes. There's something in the sky that has a known path. That path has been taken for as long as any of us could ever remember. It's called the sun, and it goes in a path around the earth. Once you have something like that, a base feature, if you will, something that you can reference, then you can take any map that somebody hands you, and you can say, all right, this map is where we live. All right, let me make sure it jives with the known thing in the sky. And when it doesn't, you say this map is incorrect because we know that the sun path is. Oh, okay. Sorry, we'll give you a different map. But no, not according to flat earthers. They just say, dismiss it all. Can't. I mean, imagine if the sun proved that the earth was flat. Do you think flat earthers would be going around saying, you can't, no, we don't, no, don't count that proof. We actually cannot use the sky to get the shape of the ground. It's literally retardation. Okay? Retardation, for sure. Now, do you understand the Home Depot? That no matter where we went on this sphere, you'd be able to, or let's go back to the actual football fields. Let's pretend this is a football field, this black square here. If this black square is 2 football fields and there's 1/8 inch of curve, then if we go here and we start 2 more, that we would just move along the sphere and never know that we're moving. We'll never know that we're curving. It's not even that difficult to comprehend. It's not. But people want to say, like that engineer who I eventually had to block for her retardation, but she said that there can be no straight lines on a sphere, as if I was saying that. And she couldn't understand. She said, again, if you take a Lego, JeRant, take a Lego and try to build a straight line on a yoga ball. Okay, the Earth is slightly bigger than that. And I think we figured it out. That was the equivalent of me being 6 foot tall and by the way, somebody says, oh, JeRant, you lied before. Last week you said you're 6 foot tall. I'm using it as an example. I'm 6'3", bitch. Come at me. I'm saying that 6 feet, it's easier to do the math. 6 foot tall would be the equivalent of a 288 foot diameter yoga ball. Then to get to the Earth size, you have to only multiply that by 460,000 times. So she was close. She's an engineer. I mean, who am I to speak back at an engineer? Engineers, hella smart, hella know what they're talking about, and hella are smart. I guess that's basically what I'm trying to say. All right, so is there anything left on this? Or we zoomed in all the way in? Look at that level. So when people say that the Earth is level, water finds its level. Yes, it does. Water do find its level. Okay? And that's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes. So let's get on with, let me see, is that what we want to talk about there? Oh yeah, we want to talk about, what's his name too? Kyle from the Glowbusters. Kyle, let me make this simple for you because you did a video where you used lasers in your room and you were showing that, oh, look, for things to be upside down, we just need to turn around. Okay, let me be clear so you can follow me here. I don't know how slow I need to go. Let's listen. In the north, if you stand at the North Pole, the sun will always move left to right around you. Okay? Doesn't matter which way you look. You go, I'm going to turn around now, and it's going to, nope, it doesn't go the other way. The sun goes around left to right when standing at the North Pole, no matter which way you look, because every way you look is south. So we know that that is the case. We've seen plenty of evidence of it. I know many people firsthand that I've talked to that say that that is the case, and we can find cameras and all kinds of videos of that. And I've got somebody who lives in Alaska that's been up there. David, by the way, who's no longer on the Flat Earth. He's now Team Globular. By the way, we are trying to get a group together of, it's basically like Flat Earth Anonymous, but we're throwing some names around. We're throwing some names around so we can get some hats made. So far, we like XFLRF, and it's actually an acronym. It's not just XFLRF. It stands for something. Now I don't remember what it was. X Flat Earthers accepting actual science or something. No, finally accepting. I don't have to look at the letters. Not that smart. But we've got a couple different ones. What are the other ones? X Free or something? I can't remember what they are named. We have some ideas. But we are going to get a group together because there's a lot of people starting to look for that, place that they can call home, if you will. Because it's a tough place to be. You maybe lost a lot of friends, maybe lost some family. Now you realize that the earth can't be flat, that we were basically hoodwinked, gaslit for a long time. But we'll get to that because we're going to be talking about who is to blame for these flat earthers that are still very confused. But it's okay. I get it. I side with flat earthers. I actually understand flat earthers. We're going to get into that tonight as well. I've just been able to realize that truth is truth, and it doesn't matter if you put 10, 20, 30, 50 years into a flat earth belief. Once you realize you're wrong, it's time to take out your balls and say, I'm going to say I was wrong. Just going to do it. And then you do it. It's like a Band-Aid. Pull it off. It's over. Okay, great. Now you got to listen to Santos Bonacci make songs calling you a bimbo. But Santos Bonacci is a lost and confused human being who probably should be in a straitjacket, if we're going to be honest. I wonder if maybe he's got Dirtball of the Week coming up for him. Maybe. All right, so let's get to this one here. What are we looking at the screen here? There we go. Oh, look at that. Okay, so who's to blame? Let me start out by saying I've got some problems with the scientific community, and one of those people is this guy. His name is John Tiller? No, wait. Now I can't remember his name. John Tiller, I think. We'll find out. Let's watch this video together, and I'll stop it several times. This is a video from 6 years ago. It's called, Why Do Flat Earth Believers Still Exist? And let's see if we can get to the bottom of it.
In about 200 BC, a Greek named Eratosthenes realized the sun was directly overhead in southern Egypt during the summer solstice. He knew this because the sun could be seen reflected off the water at the...
And by the way, I still don't believe this story. There's people that were librarians at the Alexandria Library after Eratosthenes who wrote books who never mentioned him. And again, I've said it many times, that's the equivalent of you going to North Carolina for college, playing basketball. You then get drafted by the Bulls, and you go to the Bulls and you win 3 championships, and you write a book, and you never mention Michael Jordan. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
The bottom of deep wells. But in Alexandria in northern Egypt, this wasn't the case.
By the way, you can just look up some of his existing books if you want to see how he did. Oh, wait, that's right. There's no existing books. Okay, I'm just making sure. No existing books of Aristotle.
Eratosthenes realized he could calculate the angle of the sun by measuring the length of a stick and the shadow it cast. With that angle...
I think these guys were still worried about how to get shit off their asses, to be honest. Like, I don't think they were really worrying about angles in the sun.
Knowing the distance between the 2 locations in Egypt, he could calculate the circumference of the Earth. And he did this with a surprising degree of accuracy.
Now, if you look into the actual facts about this, because he gave some number for stadia, the way they came up with what he was talking about is to basically assign to it that he got within 1%, and then that's what we now call the stadia distance. I'm not kidding.
That a lot of the measurements he used to do so were pretty crude. There's something notable about...
This is the guy, John Timmer. He's the senior science editor. I've been in email communication with him, although the last email from him to me was, can you explain to me why you're so mad? Can you explain to me why you're so angry? I'm like, I'm not angry. I'm telling you that I stood in front of people and said, I was wrong. Now it's your turn, Mr. Timmer.
All of this. The Earth can only have a circumference if it's actually round. We knew that the Earth was round over 2,000 years ago. How can it be possible people are still arguing about this?
Let's ask that question. How could it be possible that people are still arguing about flat Earth? Yeah, because what should happen, let me explain an ideal situation. You would have science step up to the plate and say, oh, we got people who believe the Earth's flat. Let's go show them that it's not. And then science would go out and they would do an experiment or some sort of observation that would prove that it's not flat. But instead, they came out with a couple TV shows. You may have seen a couple of them.
To some extent, in our everyday experience, the Earth sure does look flat. But this belief can only exist if people ignore the centuries of evidence that have accumulated since the time of Eratosthenes. For example, people sailed around the globe in 1522.
Also possible on a flat Earth.
And have been filling in the details ever since. We even developed the ideas of latitude and longitude in order to track our progress across the sphere of the Earth. We've been looking at other planets and stars since Galileo developed the telescope in 1609, and all of those are spheres. We now know how planets form and how gravity will shape anything with as much mass as the Earth into a sphere over time. We've now gone high enough into the atmosphere that we could see the curvature of the Earth ourselves. We've even done so from the vicinity of the Moon. Multiple countries now have space programs based on the idea that you could put stuff into orbit around the Earth. But you don't need to be NASA to see this.
No?
All you really need is a big balloon and a good enough camera. That's put it within the reach of high schools and universities. But despite the ever-growing evidence, flat Earth believers have been with us the whole time. Back in the 1800s,
I wonder why. We're going to find out, though.
one flat Earth proponent even took a bet with Alfred Russel Wallace.
Now, this is how much the globe community or science community hates flat Earth. Alfred Russel Wallace is the inventor of, or the originator of, evolution. Now, you've heard something different. You've heard a different name. That's because they hide him. They hide Russel Wallace. Why? Well, two reasons. Number one, he was anti-vax, wrote many papers against vaccines and that their damage that they were doing to people. That's number one. Number two, he got into a flat Earth squabble. And so basically just the science community has just disregarded him, and we don't need to learn about him.
He's the guy who independently came up with the theory of evolution. Wallace used to be a surveyor and knew how to test whether the Earth was round. To do so, he used a 6-mile stretch of straight canal. He put 2 poles, one at either end of that stretch, and a third one in the middle. The third one clearly stood out above the other 2, indicating that it was raised to a higher level by the bulge of the Earth. The person who made the bet refused to accept the results. Years of lawsuits and even death threats for Wallace followed. This may have proven a lesson for gravity.
Fast forward,
to them,
here we go.
Satellites are all fake. None of this makes any sense, but it's what you have to believe if you think the Earth is flat.
True.
Their refusal to accept evidence hasn't changed since Wallace's time. A few years back, the Discovery Channel had a program where they used lasers and telescopes to show that the surface of a large lake was curved due to the curvature of the Earth.
Let me know when you can see.
I mean, if this isn't the biggest slap in the face I've ever seen, this guy is going to make a video called Why Do Flat Earthers Exist? And for his evidence, he's going to show a faked experiment on PBS. Mr. Timmer, there's a reason why flat earthers exist, and it's because people like me, who were teaching that flat Earth was the case, found fakery like this. Found fakery like Nat Geo. Do you understand? So when you're faking science, expect there to be flat earthers for as long as you do that. You're creating enemies of science. You created a beast in me that thought science was a huge lie, because why would they fake? Again, Mr. Timmer, you had the opportunity to showcase to the world that the Earth is a sphere, and you guys chose to fake it. Why?
Yes, on spots of the horizon.
Why would you do that?
All right, Brian, how many feet are we above the lake?
Science, can I make a science announcement? Ding, 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 ding. Oh, I'm going to get a sound effect. Enrique, some sort of bell or something? Something? I guess that'll work. Jesus. Do it again. Thank you. Attention science. Stop faking shit. If you want people to trust the science, stop faking shit. Thank you. The bells again. Thank you. Stop faking shit. Thank you, science. Just a little public service announcement there.
The flat Earth proponents...
I mean, first of all, that was the most obvious fraud in the world. She says, how high up are we? And he says 24 feet, which happens to be exactly what the curvature would be over 6 miles. Now, they did forget that there's a telescope over there that they would have to account for, leaving it only 10 feet that would be hidden. But then this guy flying up says how high he is. Listen.
And you can see us on spots of the horizon. All right, Brian, how many feet are we above the lake?
24 feet.
Okay, well, the helicopter, I guarantee you, does not have 24 as a reading on its height. Okay? It's not just say 24 feet exactly. Oh, it's 20, not 26, not 25, not 23. 24. Good call.
The Flat Earth proponents responded to this program with a series of videos on YouTube.
Right.
I'm going to go with CGI on that whole helicopter
Good job, Daryl Marble. It is CGI. Fantastic.
thing, because people would say, oh, look, well, what do you mean it's CGI? You saw the helicopter. Yeah, I also seen giant robots fighting in downtown Chicago.
Listen to what this guy says here.
That doesn't make it real.
All of which supposedly show errors made by the people
Not supposedly, it's fake. 100%. There's never been a global argument on the pro side that it's not faked, because it would be impossible to make that argument. It is clearly, and we're going to look at it in a second, fake as could be. You're faking experiments. Now get this. Let me just explain something to you. They faked my experiment, the final experiment, not the final experiment. They faked the behind the curve, right? They took it out of context. They basically took one observation out of 20 and packaged it up and put it at the end of their movie. Okay. And hundreds of millions of people saw it. Okay. We have here Stephen Hawking on his television program. Hundreds of millions of people have seen that episode. Nat Geo. Hundreds of millions of people have seen the Nat Geo episode. If a flat earther, like, for instance, Flatzoid, who faked a video by taking out 11 frames so that he could try and fool people, but he will never leave that down. He'll never live that down. Okay, for his little tiny fakery that like 400 people, however many people watch his show, saw. And the whole globe community has completely destroyed him. They bring it up all the time. They call him Mr. 11 Frames. On my rocket launch video, I saw something in the comments saying, Flatzoid's going to have to take out more than 11 frames here. So he'll never live that down for being a faker. Yet, globe community does nothing with Stephen Hawking, with Nat Geo. They don't care. And I get it. I get it now because I'm on that side and I say, okay, so the Earth is a sphere, but it doesn't mean we can be okay with outright fakery. You know why? That's why there's flat earthers. You know how many times somebody has said to me since I became, do you think they ask me about the 24-hour sun in the south? Do you think they ask me about the South Celestial Pole? They ask me, why did Stephen Hawking fake his experiment? And if you think I have an answer for that, you are wrong. Give me a buzzer, please. Buzzer. Enrique, you are so slow. One day he's going to get this. He's going to figure it out eventually. Not in the middle of when I'm talking. Anyway, there's a problem, and I'm fed up with it now. Listen to this. He's just going to keep digging himself a bigger hole.
Behind the Discovery Channel program. What drives this sort of stubborn refusal to deal with reality?
What drives this sort of stubborn reality? You can't deal with reality. Because it's fake. That's why. Do we need to ask Alex Jones? Alex, can you tell me what do you think about the Nat Geo? Have you ever looked into it? And the Stephen Hawking?
It's all fake!
Okay, just making sure that you get that.
Part of the problem is that even the simplest demonstrations, like Wallace's or the Discovery Channels, require careful preparation.
Oh, the CGI required careful preparation.
And specialized equipment.
Specialized equipment, of course, right. You need the video editing machine, the CGI machine.
Not everybody has access to a helicopter and a telescope to
Obviously, neither does Stephen Hawking or the PBS.
Do these sorts of tests. That's often a complaint that the flat earth people make. They need to personally experience the evidence.
I wonder why. Why would we need to personally experience the evidence? If you're just giving us evidence for us to see, we should just accept that. Oh, it's fake. That's why. It's fake. So very hard to accept fake evidence. And when you do that, then people cement themselves as flat earthers like I did, because the question is, why would you fake it, Mr. Timmer? Now, I'm not saying you faked it, but you obviously didn't. So here's the problem. If it wasn't for flat earthers, then nobody would have noticed that this was faked. Because you and all your audience, by the way, this video was seen by 1.2 million people. This video, gaslighting flat earthers, was seen by 1.2 million people. There's no flat earth video in the past 10 years or 5 years that has over 1 million views. But you just need to put out some lie where you actually show a video and say, oh, I don't know why they don't believe this. Flat earthers don't believe this. And then, by the way, in the email I emailed to him, He responded at first and said, I have not heard anybody say that video is fake. So 1.2 million people saw this video, and not one of them told this gentleman that video is fake. Do you see the issue here? Science people have become complacent. They're not skeptical. Do not put the word skeptic anywhere near anybody who believes in science. It's wrong. I don't know any of them that are skeptical. Okay? I just don't. Now, I am going to be doing a video coming up with McKeegan, I think, and also Icy Spin might be in there. They want me to bring my best moon landing evidence, and they are going to attempt to show us how it actually is real, and I think that'll be a fun show. Look forward to that. But I still am a skeptic, regardless. I will never just accept what I'm told. I don't have to. It's not required that I do that. It is required that once I'm shown evidence that is sufficient to me, that I change my opinion, and I'm willing to do that if the evidence is shown.
Rather than trusting the measurements of other people.
Right. It's hard to trust fake measurements. I tend to go with the real stuff. Like, do you have any real evidence? Because, and by the way, I told Mr. Timmer that the Flat Earth community is owed that test again. Okay? That means you call up PBS and you say, hey, remember when you guys faked that experiment? Well, guess what? Now we need to do it again. Oh, you don't have the budget? Find it. You faked the last one and you caused people to be flat earthers. So you are going to do it again. Mark my words, you will do it again.
That's in part because the people who do these measurements are often experts.
No, or they're fakers. I mean, they could be experts or they could be fakers. I mean, it depends on which way you look at it. Mr. Timmer here, who watched the video twice, 3 times, people even said it's fake, and he watched the video and said, oh, the flat earthers had a problem with this video, but I'll show it anyway. I'm not even going to look into it.
And society's trust in experts in general has gone down.
I wonder why society's trust in experts has gone down. Trust the science. Trust the science. Right? You know how that goes.
Trust the science. Trust the science.
I mean, we had all the best teachers that there were. He taught me about the 2 sexes. And, oh, no, he didn't. They erased that episode. Never mind. I'm sorry. They didn't. There's many genders. They're all whatever you want to be.
Things may be worse in this case because people who believe in conspiracy theories tend to have lower trust in others overall.
Right. Because of the fakery.
The people who feel that way have to believe that NASA, universities, the people who run the GPS system, and
PBS, Discovery Channel, Nat Geo,
more are all hiding something from them. The explanation can't just be that these people are wrong. NASA had to have actually faked all those pictures of a round Earth for a flat Earth to be true. Studies have shown that people who believe in conspiracy theories tend to like to feel unique. And what could be more unique than believing in something that seems so outlandish?
It's not outlandish when you guys faked it.
Conspiracy theorists also have a tendency to believe in nonsense that sounds profound. The technical term for this, and I'm not making this up, is called bullshit receptivity. This may explain why they enjoy believing all the Baroque reasons people have come up with for why a flat Earth can still have seasons. These factors may...
And it's so stupid because a flat Earth actually explains seasons better. That's what's funny about it. Now, granted, the flat Earth is debunked. You can't use that map. It's garbage. It goes the wrong way. Oh, I didn't get to Kyle. That's what I forgot to get to. Let's finish that up real quick. So Kyle used a bunch of lasers in his house to show turning around this and that. Kyle, at the North Pole, you stand there and the sun moves left to right all summer for 6 months. Now, wouldn't it be weird if 6 months later, okay, at the South Pole, you stand there and the sun goes right to left around you? Again, think of a flat Earth, any flat Earth that you can ever imagine. Picture in the north, the sun going around you left to right, and then you go to the south and the sun now goes around you right to left. Do you understand yet? Let me show you a little picture. I wanted to show people. I think this will bring it home. Maybe the flat Earthers watching this will finally get it. Probably not. And by the way, have hope, because I've noticed there's about a 6-month timeline between people getting it in their head a little bit that, am I wrong? Am I actually wrong? And then actually admitting it. So we just are a month or 2 into that. So we got 4 more months of people acting like retards, and then they'll slowly come to the grips. Okay, so what we're doing is we're going to put this up here. This is I don't know if you've ever seen this. It's called the Google Earths. Okay, it's on the interwebs. And we're going to go down here to South America. Okay, we're going to turn here. We're going to go way down here to Punta Arenas, where Lisbeth and myself and Austin stood. Let's go down here somewhere like this. Okay, and we are going to look and make sure, Kyle, you're paying attention. because you can't break out lasers and start shining them on your walls and turning around, because I'm giving you a place that you're standing in a direction that you're looking. Okay. You're standing in South America. You are looking west. Okay. So don't go turning around. Don't shine your laser a different direction or on a different wall of the house. I'm telling you where to stand. You're standing in South America, looking west. Now we're going to add something called the sun, since we know its path and all that fun stuff. And we're going to change the date to back to where we were, which was December the, oops, go this way. Okay, so we're at December the 12th there, December 13th. Now everybody pay attention, please, because this is the debunk of the flat earth. Okay? Remember, on a AE map or on any flat map, which way, right now, we're looking at the screen, we're looking west from South America. Which way is Australia? Okay? Is it to the right or to the left? Is Australia to the right or to the left? We're in South America. We're looking west. Kyle, can you get this one? Which way must Australia be? Must it be in a certain direction? The answer is yes. It wouldn't make sense if it was to the left, considering the left is Antarctica. And that's it. It's the end of the world, as far as we know. You go to Antarctica and we don't know it's past that. It's an endless plain. So clearly, Australia is to the right. Okay? And if the sun's above us, it's got to get over there pretty quick. But let's see what happens at a sunset here. Because remember, it's got to get over there to the right. And so let's see where we got here. Is this one? 2, 9, 12. Go one up more. All right, there we go. So let's see what happens here as the sun comes around. Oh, wait, what's that? Wait, hold on. This can't be right. Let me see what's going on. So that's way southwest. I mean, south, yeah. Way southwest. Wait, why is the sun... Wait, it's going... Wait, hold on. Hold on. This doesn't seem to make a lot of sense here. So, Kyle, go ahead and shine your lasers off your wall in your house and think that you debunked something I said. And then explain how this sun, which goes like this, I was there, I saw it. And it barely goes under the earth for any time. Remember, we were in Punta Arenas. We were looking this way, south. And we said, hey, we still see the sunlight. And then just a few hours later, the sun rose over here in the southeast. So it came from here and it set over here. Now, flat earthers, if you're not able to grasp what I'm saying, it's that the sun just did something impossible on any flat map. How did it light up all the other side of the earth? How did it get on top of Australia in 5 hours from now? How is Australia getting light? The sun went left. Here we are looking west again. Let's go southwest. Spin. Oops, that's not, can't do it from that screen. Go over here. Why would the sun set this way? Okay, so this is what was my epiphany, seeing this in person. Because do we know that the sun stays above the Tropic of Capricorn? We do. Fact. Can't be argued. Can't debate me. Can't say it doesn't. The sun stays above the Tropic of Capricorn on December 21st. So therefore, if the sun is going this way, anybody want to take a guess which direction the Tropic of Capricorn is? Okay. Now let's turn around and see, where's the Tropic of Capricorn? Let's kind of get up here a little bit and see. Oops, didn't want to do that. Oops, okay, here we go. So let's see if we can find it. It's going to be about up here somewhere. Come on. Do I not have the tropics on? Oh, there it is. All right. So this right here is the Tropic of Capricorn. The sun stays above it. We're down here. Notice this line. I know it's going through the globe Earth, but pay attention to that. If you're here, looking off in this direction, do you understand yet that the Tropic of Capricorn goes left, not right? That is the end of the flat Earth. That's it. It's over. You'll never explain that. You'll never be able to, wish it away. This is why I'm very confident in saying the flat Earth is done. It needs to be destroyed. It's over.
How dare you?
Give it up, Greta. Just the way it goes. Just the way it is. And again, the sun set this direction. Let's get down to the ground here. So this starts to make sense, right? Everything that we saw is all explained with the word sphere. That's it. Here comes the sun, and it's going to come around, and oh, there it goes. Look where it's going. It's setting south of west, way the hell over here. And then remember, when it's here, it's got to be our dead south. We'll go a little further. See how that light is? Go back and watch our Punta Arena stream. When it's there, guess what? If you call somebody in Australia and say, hey, where's the sun right now? Guess where they're going to say? It's above our heads. Excuse me? It's above our heads right now. Wait, but it's to the south of South America. Yep. Okay, well then we just figured out that Australia is south of South America. So the AE map, does it call for Australia to be south? No. It calls for it to be over on the right, on the other side of the world. And if we go this way, which is what we did, we flew toward, now look how the sun is rising as we fly towards Union Glacier. And then we got to Union Glacier, and then boom, the sun's up in the sky in the south. And what do you think happens as the day goes by? It twirls your little head around and around and around. Remember I said if I picked out where the lowest part of the sun is, so it's about right there, and if I walked towards that lowest part of the sun, and then we went till it went around again, let's see where it comes around. Oops, let's raise our heads a little bit. Okay, and we wait till we see the southernmost part of the sun. Looks like about there again. And we walk towards it. By the way, this is how the guys who found... Oh, look where we're at. Wait, where are we at? What is this thing here? This area looks familiar. It's every line of latitude coming to meet. Oh, man, what is that? How does that work on a flat Earth? Because on a flat Earth, they all go away from each other. Not to the same place. It's the opposite of this. It's weird. Seems like a South Pole or something. What would that mean? What would that be? So another thing, if you look at some of the experiments that were done, if we go to 80 degrees south, which is going to be, there's 85, 83, 82, 81. Okay, here's the Union Glaciers. Okay. If we measured one line of latitude, okay, so let's see if we can get the lines to be one. Going to get away from that a little bit. 78.75, 79.5. Okay, there we go. So this is one line of latitude. Wait, nope, that's longitude. 72.5. Let me get in here a little more. 81, 82. Okay, there. Can I get the numbers right? 80. No, we'll go there. So you can tell this line and this line is 81 and 82, right? So if we take a ruler and we measure here, 81 to 82, one line of longitude, okay? The total comes back at 12 miles, okay? Now, on a flat Earth map, this same line is 330 miles. Do you understand? Because the flat Earth has to expand outwards. So which one do you think is probably the truth? Considering planes and all those crafts and people who hike and stuff like that, they use the globe model. So do you think that they went to walk 12 miles and one day were like, we've been walking this for 6 days? Somebody might speak up about that. Clearly, this is 12 miles because clearly it all convenes back at the South Pole. So again, there's not even a question. We shouldn't be worried about this. We should all, as grown adults, move on. Move on. The flat Earth probably taught you a lot. You probably learned a lot from it. But just suck it up, Buttercup, and let's move on. Why would you continue to beat a dead horse? Why? I mean, I know that...
Science
I know that.
is a liar sometimes.
I get it, but sometimes we can do things for ourselves. Just like what I talked about with the sun setting south of west. That's no need for NASA. That's no need for anybody but yourself. But anyway, I mean, you think that line's 330 miles? I don't think so. I think that this is probably the shape of the Earth, and I think that every bit of observation that we had down south proved that. We were down here in South America, we flew south, and everything fit and jived perfectly with it. So when that happens, you can either be very smart and say that it was actually laser beam suns off of a studio screen, or you can be a dum-dum like me and go, all the observations match a sphere. So which one do you feel like doing? I guess I know which one you're doing. But let's get out of here. Just wanted to show you again. So remember, the sun, Kyle, sets right to left and goes to impossible land. So far, we've got the rocket launch with Vanish Land and the sun setting into impossible land. Or you could just look at Stephen Alonso's model, which actually predicted the southern sun. Predicted the sun would just circle. Because that's what happens when you steal from the globe and then say whatever they say is what you said. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So anyway, so again, North Pole, sun goes around left to right all the time. South Pole, sun goes around right to left all the time. And they both have 6 months of it. If you're at the North Pole, you get 6 months of sun and 6 months of darkness. If you're at the South Pole, 6 months of sun, 6 months of darkness. How could that be anything other than a flat Earth at this point? So let me be clear, because everybody who thinks that I have jumped ship or that I no longer believe in my other proofs or anything like that, listen very clearly, that if you are told you're going to the south and you look up and say, okay, if we're really going to the south on a globe, then all these things must match. For example, if they tell you they're taking you to 79.5 degrees south, a place called Union Glacier, you can go to a map like this, put yourself in Union Glacier, and then look at what the sky does. This way, when they take you to a place and you get off the plane, you can look up and say, let's see if the sky's doing what it's supposed to do on a sphere. And if it does, then you need to start thinking, oh shit, what if the south isn't a lie? And so you go back to Punta Arenas and you watch what's going on there and you're like, oh shit, this is exactly the opposite of the north. And the sun's setting right to left. And the flat earth would not exist, in my opinion, if we lived everybody in the south. In fact, I'm disappointed in the people who live in the south. Anybody who lives in the south right now, please wash your mouth out with soap right now. Because you should have spoke up a long time ago and just said, hey, calm down. Hey, guys, I live in the south. And your sun's going the wrong way. Because for us, think about the sun setting in the north. It sets left to right. It matches the AE map. So does the land. So do plane flight routes. The north is just beautiful. Dave should come out with the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac clock app, only good in the north. That's my idea, Dave. If you're going to do that, I'm going to cash in myself. That's what you want to do. And I think that the subscription fee should be $22.99 also. Because it's just the north, so it should be double. It's, and if that's too much, then cut it in half and then double it. Okay, and that'd probably be right in line. So, in the north, everything's fine. In the south, the entire flat earth falls apart. It's garbage. It's gone. And let's recognize that. If you're in the north, the sun sets left to right. If you're in the south, the sun sets right to left because it's going around a ball. There is no other answer, and there's no need for another answer. So let's see who else is responsible for flat earth beliefs. Mr. Timmer's almost done with his video.
May not explain why any one individual doesn't believe that the Earth is round, but they go a long way towards explaining why 2,200 years later, flat Earth believers are still with us.
Yeah, we're still with you because you guys lied. So let's do it again. I put that challenge to you in email. I said I think it is incumbent upon science and PBS, who faked the experiment, to go do it again. I told them I'll meet them there. I know where that lake is in Nevada. I'll meet you there. I'll film it. We'll bring it to my audience. And you guys can make another documentary. And this time, you can try to do it, real. Just an idea. I'm not saying I'm smart or anything. So anyway, we'll continue talking to Mr. Timmer and get that all figured out. We've got to go now to... just to show you why I mean it's fake, because I know you might not believe me. Let's go to about a minute of my video here and watch.
So that means this lake isn't flat.
No, is that what it means? Not even close, no.
It's crazy.
This is from the official film. This is not edited. By the way, these are three ordinary people. Jim Fitzsimmons works as a teacher. Kat Bobineau is a scientist who lies in the program and says she's not a scientist. And this is Joy Ng. Joy Ng. And she is the head of NASA video storytelling at Goddard. Three ordinary people are going to tell us the shape of the Earth, though. Or anything. Pay attention here, because this is all that you need to realize that people are faking science, and then the science community doesn't even care. Doesn't blink an eye. I mean, it's a total hypocrisy. If I did this, imagine, I was thinking the other night too, imagine if behind the curve, let's say instead we didn't have a movie crew. It was just me and the 20 people there. And we did all these observations, and there was observations where we saw the light at 17 feet. Imagine that we saw the light at 17 feet, and I just chopped that out. And I put it at the end of my documentary, and I said, look, we proved the Earth is flat. Do you know the amount of shit I would have got for that? But when science does it, when they take my observation and misplay it and put it, every single science backer in the world can't stop licking the butthole of science. All up in the butthole, probably getting pink eye. Get your tongue out of there. Get it out. It was a lie, just like this program. There's real science and there's liars. And once you've lied, don't be surprised. Well, I don't know why I don't know why people are science deniers. I don't know, because you faked it. That's the one thing you cannot do. If you're science, you cannot do it. Whoever's in the cutting room, whoever's in the editing room, and they say, hey guys, we only had the helicopter for 2 hours and we didn't get the shot that we need. Then go back tomorrow. Then go back the next day. Yeah, but the guys can't go with us. I don't care. What were you thinking of doing? Oh, we were just thinking of using a CGI and just popping the helicopter in there via computer graphics. What do you think? Yeah, go ahead. It's fine. It's good. We're a science program? Yeah, go ahead. Plug it in. CGI it. You'll notice these are two different timestamps because this is two different portions of the film. So you'll notice timestamps on the top. You can go to the actual film or the actual documentary, find this section, and you're going to see a problem. Well, we can see the problem on the screen right now, can't we? Do you notice that the helicopter's in one scene and not the other? That's fine. That can happen in real life. Now look at the water. Wait a second. That looks awfully identical. So identical water, different helicopter. Let's keep going. One of them proclaims to be showing the helicopter going down. One of them portrays the helicopter going up. But we've got a problem. How would it be that the water is identical in both scenes? Ladies and gentlemen. What? It can mean nothing else. Then what? Then they have used chroma keying. They have used layering. Camera tricks. Somehow to fake a helicopter. Right. Behind this body of water. This is not an editing mistake. This is nothing but all-out fraud. Correct. Look at the water.
The helicopter here.
Look again. We've got these birds entering the scene, which, I don't believe in coincidences, but sometimes I do. This one here is clearly a coincidence. Just happens to be the three birds flew by at the same time in two different scenes, and the water was identical. Or it's just complete total fakery.
To descend below the...
Notice it's the same scene on the bottom, different scene on the top. Is that possible? This is why Mr. Timmer and everybody else who doesn't know this is why no one's ever argued on behalf of the globe here. They just shut their mouth, close their eyes, put their hands over their ears, and go la 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 la. How is it possible that we're looking at the same water, yet there's a helicopter in this scene, but not in this scene? It means that it's faked. Correct. Not accidental. Nope.
The helicopter here is about to crest the horizon.
How could it be two different helicopters? That's right.
The waves of the lake in both.
And the sad part is it means that these guys are lying. The people involved in the show, it means that the guy who's involved in the helicopter, they're all in on it.
Are identical, and the helicopter is not.
Look at the water. Identical. The waves are identical. There is no arguing that. Go ahead and debate me that this was not faked by Stephen Hawking. Now, to my many globe-believing fans, which is weird if there's any of you, you're going to have problems with me when I bring stuff up like this because I understand that in the scientific world, this is what you be quiet about. But you are not going to like me on your team because I can never be quiet about this because it needs to be apologized for by those who faked it. They need to explain why they faked it, and they need to do it again. Sorry. If I have to go down to Antarctica and get shown in my face that I was wrong, and then I stand up like a man and say, I was wrong, I admit it, then you must do the same. You don't get to hide behind the millions of science people who just are not skeptical and they're like, nah, don't say anything. Quiet, keep quiet. Don't mention that they faked it. If you are a true science believer and a true science backer, then you know that the only thing that science can't do is tell a lie and fake experiments. And genius.
The same bird flies the same path in both scenes.
We've got a bird here.
Scenes are trick photography.
Helicopter here. No here.
Recordings.
They're not real. Not real at all. They're not real. Nobody's going to stand up and speak out against a so-called scientific enterprise teaching children, coming across with some air of respectability, some air of correctness, and yet they have completely frauded. If a know-nothing flat earther did this, who had 100 views and 100 subs on YouTube, the globe community would lose their freaking mind.
Ordinary people.
Here's the ordinary
It
people.
worked. I'm not a scientist, and to be able to just do that off a whim, and it just came to me.
Oh, it's amazing.
Was,
it's really cool.
that was incredible.
Right.
My name is Kat Bobineau, and I am a scientist.
Yeah, you heard it right. This is her before the show on YouTube saying, hi, my name is Kat Bobineau, and I am a scientist. And here's her on the show saying, I'm not a scientist, but... So we got a problem. These people who claim to be on behalf of science, like Kat Bobineau, who saw a script, and in the script it said, I'm not a scientist, but... And she said, yeah, I'm good with that. Fine with that. I mean, imagine me reading a script that I'm supposed to read that says, I'm not a YouTuber, but... I'm not a YouTube channel creator, but... I'd be like, excuse me, who? I'm not saying this. This is false. Oh, but we really need you to say it. I don't care. I'm not saying it. It's false. Yeah, but it's just for our TV show, and Stephen Hawking will give you a hug. Like, well, all right, man. I'm just kidding. Hawking, what do you think about this? I mean, did they tell you this is going to be going on, or I mean, what do you think about the editor, and what do you think about Cat Bobineau?
Slightly gay.
Oh, all right. And the editor?
Hella gay.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And do you know who's responsible for this fakery?
Heliosexuals.
It is the heliosexuals. I think you're right. So anyway, this is just another lie program. Now let's go to the other lie that they told. We're not going to look at behind the curve. You already know that's a lie. And if you ever want to find it, if you go to my website, Jeranism.com, if you want all the evidence of the fraud that they've perpetrated, I got to change that. Did you see that? It said something about flat earth. I got to get that out of there. God, my website did this the other day. What's going on with that? Weird. At the top, if you go to videos, you can't see it. It's a little higher than there. It's up there. And what is going on? Everything's shifted here. I got to fix this. The very first video that should come up should be called Interesting. There it is. So, interesting. In this video, you can watch and enjoy yourself, and you will see all the evidence of emails and what have you. Where it's like the emails. Here we go. Beam to become scattered. So, anyway, let's keep reading here. See, there's only... I'm sorry. Here's the... Anyway, I should have known even more. As that's the release that I signed, the actual release, showing that I circled the word that it said... Now I don't remember. It said, in good faith. JeRant is signed in good faith. It says, we can use you for whatever we want. We can use you in any way that we want. And I refused to sign it until the guy followed me around enough that I was just like, I'm tired of this. And he eventually got me to sign it because he said, no, it's in good faith. I said, okay, I'm going to circle that. And you can see it kind of sort of here. Circled. But they didn't care. They still did what they wanted. And so that's another reason why people are still flat earthers. Because you lied. Now let's go to, where is the, here. If you guys remember, Nat Geo made this documentary.
Is that some of the flat earthers, including Mark Sargent, are...
Appreciate the enthusiasm.
I mean, thank God, like John Timmer said, that these guys who do science, they do it. They're really strenuous. They look into it. They take some specialized equipment and really experts.
But cannot work.
Cannot work.
So let's see these experts. Oh, let me start off with the optical illusion that they pulled on everybody. Look at this board back here, and tell me if you see the optical illusion. The optical illusion was that you paint the black bar for some reason on the... So this line here that you see here is the middle. The line, not the black line, but this line here. But they put a black line underneath, then white, then red. Then above it goes white, red, white. This is what we mean by optical illusion, right? So when this gets out in the water, everybody there is going to assume that the black line is in the middle and that there's a white, red, white.
Stripes.
There's not.
We're going to launch a small boat out into the water here with a striped target. Come on, Betty! And as it gets farther and farther out, you'll start to lose the stripes.
We're going to start to lose the stripes.
One way that Aristotle proved 2,000 years ago that the Earth is a sphere was with a boat's test, very similar to this one.
He did not do a boat's test. He's bullshitting you.
As a boat approaches the horizon,
oops, sorry.
It appears to slowly dip. Some of the flat earthers.
Okay, let's watch this now.
I'm ready.
Remember, they're using an optical illusion.
Bring it up.
So it's starting?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Spencer, I'll see you in a couple weeks.
the test is starting. It's starting right now. At first,
Now listen.
all the stripes are clearly visible.
So at first, all the stripes are clearly visible, even though this red one's kind of covered by a wave, isn't it? But she's right. All the stripes are clearly visible.
But sure enough, as the boat reaches the horizon...
Okay. Pretty much as the boat reaches the horizon. Anybody see what the horizon is? It's this line here. Did the boat reach the horizon? No. So if something hasn't reached the horizon, can it then be blocked by Earth curvature? No. Science has yet again decided to lie. Why? No, I will not.
Trust the science. Trust the science.
No, I will not.
The stripes
Now listen.
begin to disappear one by one.
So now the stripes are disappearing one by one.
It's pretty amazing. You can actually see it pretty clearly with this
Can you?
camera here. And you...
Let's see. Did the stripes disappear one by one? I see a red stripe and a white stripe. The same thing that we saw when she said that we could see all the stripes.
You see that the red stripe that was at the bottom has completely disappeared, and it's now getting closer to sort of the middle green stripe.
Nope. I see the red stripe. Nothing has changed. That is waves. And here's the thing. Do I believe in a flat earth? No. Do I believe that you have to be honest with people? Yes, because when you're dishonest like this, you are cementing flat earthers. It's your fault that there's flat earthers. If you would have gone out, where's the test that you went out and actually showed it? We had to go do it. We had to go to Antarctica and do it. You have all this money, all this specialized equipment, CGI helicopters, optical illusion boards, and you couldn't do it.
So we've lost about 1.5 stripes.
The guy from the independent, by the way, this is a skeptic, Ross from Ross and Carrie's podcast, who is a skeptic, man. He looks into everything. Don't you dare ever try and get anything past him. Right now, he just said that we just lost 1.5 stripes. Is he falling for the optical illusion? He didn't look at the board before it went out?
Right. So this can only happen why?
Because of the curvature.
Because of the curvature of the earth. It's all because of the curvature of the earth. It's a lie. You're wrong. And because of you, you created more flat earthers. Because there's no reason, if the earth is a sphere, to lie to people about it.
So here's what we were shooting.
But Mark Sargent and the other flat earthers.
Again, let's listen to him lie just one more time.
Stripe that was at the bottom has completely disappeared.
It's not completely disappeared.
And it's now getting closer to sort of the middle.
No, not close to the middle.
Green stripe, that is.
So we've lost about 1.5 stripes.
Oh, 1.5 stripes. Yeah, 1.5. But it's actually not even a half, but call it 1.5.
Right. So this can only happen why?
And by the way, we just missed it by a second. Would we go backwards with this? Notice where the horizon is. So with the horizon back here, if you're going to have Earth curvature blocking this board, then it can't be in front of the horizon or it's clearly waves. It's called being honest. You should try it.
Because of the curvature of the Earth.
Because of the curvature of the Earth.
Here's what we were shooting.
But Mark Sargent and the other flat earthers have a very different interpretation of the results. So you don't think that what we're seeing is...
No, and why would they? Why would they think that that's the case? So anyway, these are the reasons that there's flat earthers. And I think that it is incumbent on me, because it's no science person's going to do it, to get these guys to admit what they did and do it again. There's repercussions for faking experiments. Those repercussions are you're doing it again. If it's possible, do it again. Or admit that it's not possible, whatever one you want to do. But you can't fake it and then just move on like nothing ever happened. It's not going to happen that way. Okay? Jeez.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
So, we're done with that one. Again, Behind the Curve is another one that they lied about. They're getting very good at that. And again, why wouldn't they lie when everybody who watches science, everybody who calls themselves a skeptic, the Independent Investigations Group guy, Spencer, we've got John Timmer, the head of Ars Technica Science Department, all of them completely fell for the lie. So if we didn't have flat earthers, we would have nothing but yes men, and the whole world would be taken over by some, charlatan, as Sagan would say, right? Have you ever heard Sagan talk about what happens when you give power to, let's go Sagan, bamboozled. I think he says that word in that quote. Let's see here. Do I have this one. Let's listen to Sagan here.
Science is more than a body of knowledge. It's a way of thinking, a way of skeptically interrogating the universe.
Or just believing everything that they say, one or the other.
With a fine understanding of human fallibility.
Right.
If we are not able to ask skeptical questions, to interrogate those who tell us...
What drives this inability to maintain their connection with reality?
That something is true. To be skeptical of those in authority, then we're up for grabs for the next charlatan, political or religious, who comes ambling over.
Or scientific. You always forget that one, Carl. That there is a scientific, technological elite that has grown quite powerful, and now you've got one of them basically in the pocket of the president. So, why is that at the end of this? I was like, what, did I change it to a different video? Anyway, Sagan told you that you got to be careful, because if you don't keep up your level of skepticism, then you will be taken over by whoever puts just fake stuff in front of you. So the point of this is, again, do I believe that the Earth's a sphere? Yes. So do I think those tests can be done? Yes. Were they faked? Yes. My problem is, we have to clean this up. You got to clean it up. because I'm not going to continue to tell people that the earth is not flat like they think it is, just to have them ask me, well, then why the hell did they fake that experiment? Because I don't have an answer. So you're going to find the answer and you're going to do it again. That's just life. Sometimes when you're wrong and you lie to people, you have to go back and say, sorry, I lied to you. I understand now why there's flat earthers. And they're kind of important because if it wasn't for them, none of us would have seen that this was fake because we all ate it up and licked the butthole of science. Stop licking buttholes. You're going to get pink eye. That's just the way it goes, okay? Now we've got, we did watch her, we did watch that, we did watch that, and we did watch that. Great. And anybody want to get a very special TFE shirt, TFE hat for sale here at the Dirtball of the Week store? Do look into that if you could. There you go. Get this one right here. Look at that. It's the final experiment Unisec. By the way, it's in a conglomeration or agreement with Will Duffy. They came up with an agreement together that he was going to sell his merchandise and then give. It's not true. It's not true. It's a lie. All right. Question. What if you're wrong about this like you were wrong about Antarctica? Well, there is no being wrong. So it's a good question though, but let me explain. So to be a flat earther, we had to believe that the South was a lie. Do you understand? We had to assume the South was a lie. We had to assume there was no 24-hour sun there. We did all that. And we just got too big for our britches and we stopped worrying about actually going and proving or looking into those facts. We just assumed they were lies. So I went down there. I don't know if you've seen that. I've got some footage on my channel. You can go watch it. We went down there and everything that was said to be true about the South was confirmed. Did I see a south celestial pole that stood in the sky and did not move? Yes. Did the stars turn around at the opposite direction? Yes. Was there an upside down sun and an upside down moon? Yes. Did they go the opposite direction, setting right to left, not left to right? Yes. Did the sun circle you when you got to Antarctica? Yes. Was it upside down? Yes. Sunspots were upside down. Was it a reflection in any way? No. Were you able to light paper on fire with a magnifying glass from both the north and the south? Yes. Does that mean that the Tropic of Capricorn goes left? Yes. Does that mean that the flat earth cannot be true? Correct. Now, ask me again, what if I'm wrong about this? So I'm wrong about all my actual observations? It's not assuming anymore. I'm not assuming the sun sets right to left. I'm not assuming there's a south celestial pole. I'm not assuming that the sun goes around you. Those are now called facts. So we can base things much easier on facts than we can on conjecture and assumings. And assumptions. Do you see the difference? So what are the chances that I'm wrong about the clear observations that debunk the AE map? 0. Do you need Alex? Can you tell this guy, please, what are the chances that I'm wrong about this?
0.
Thank you.
0, 0, 0.
Thank you.
0, 0.
Thank you.
0.
Yes, I know. And what do you have to say to all these flat earthers that continue to light up my inbox on Telegram? I can't even get caught up. All the people telling me all a bunch of bullshit. What do you got to say?
Sit down and shut up.
Oh, good, good. That's what I say too. I tried to say that, but And anything else? Final words?
Boobies aren't things that give you milk. Boobies are things that kill you.
We should have left it at the second one. Should have left it at the second one. All right. We are going to do a little Q&A here. I forgot the intro. Oh, boy. That's okay. Let's go. While I get this Q&A set up, if you guys have questions for me, you can ask them. We have now realized that the people responsible for the flat earthers are certainly myself, certainly people who promoted it for a long time. But if it was just ended as it should have done years ago, then we wouldn't have as many, we wouldn't have the fight that we're having now. Many people are locked in. They've been locked in for years. They're not going to just get out, mostly because you're liars. If you had nothing but truth on your side and experiments and examples and observations, that'd be one thing. But I have people every day ask me, why did they fake it? Why did they fake it? And I don't have an answer for that. So anyway, let's get started. We're going to do the Q&A. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's a little bit late, but it is Friday. And you know what that means? It means it's time for the best show that ever existed on Fridays. It is Jeranism Friday Unplugged. Let's hit it. Go.
F you to the stress, to the grind, F you to the haters. Every time F you to the drama, to the hype, F you to the mainstream, pushing lies. Unplugged from the matrix. It's Friday night, unplugged with Mr. Honest and sometimes right. F you to the left, to the right, and F you to the elite parasite. F you to the noise, F you to the fakes, F you to all you weak snowflakes. Friday unplugged, unfiltered and real. Are you offended?
Okay, you feel.
F you to the sleep, F you to the woke, to the trolls in the chat, you're an effing joke. F you to the sleep, F you to the woke, to the trolls in the chat, you're an effing joke. This ain't a trap house, but your mind's getting drugged. Time for Jeranism, Friday unplugged. This ain't a trap house, but your mind's getting drugged. Time for Jeranism, Friday unplugged.
All right. It's time for Jeranism, Friday unplugged. Now, you don't need to ask any dumb questions. Do I have pants on? Of course, the answer is no. I'm just going to prove that right now. I'm going to stand up and let you guys see me in my underwear so you guys can get over it. Of course not. It's not happening. At least 80% of the audience right now was the happiest they've been in months, but I just ruined it for you. All right, so we've got Q&A up on the chat board. I believe they are ready to... Yeah, we got the first one. Okay, human being. That's not the point of the Q&A board, is not to say what it do. Okay? Please, one per person and a question. If you have a question for me, I'm here to answer. Do not clog up the Q&A board with a bunch of nonsense, or else I'm not going to get to it all. So we did get the first one. Let me move this over here if we can try and answer these questions, because I'm sure many people have many. Let's get this one on there. We're going to go change the thumbnail off this one back to this one. Good. Okay. And let's go transition. Thank you. All right, so we're going to see if these show up on the screen. We had first what it do, and no, it didn't. Why not? Let's go grab this. We got to go to chat. Oh, you can see. Okay. Where is the YouTube singled out chat? There it is. Properties. And fill it in. Control V. Okay. Now are you ready? Let's see. First one is what it do. There we go. I don't like that little thing up there. Nice profile picture. That's nice. What to do. All right, we've got Cedric Landry says, what do you think about Canada? I'm not a fan. It's too cold. Hey, whatever. Join the states. We could use, I don't know, your tax money or something. It is funny that Trump called him Governor Trudeau. It's pretty pimp. All right, we've got, sorry. What is mental block in Flirt's minds? It's like they're totally blind to everything TFE showed. Well, I can only say, Nick, that I had the same mental block. It takes some chipping away at. Austin and I talked about it. It is not something that falls away right away. So this was over time with me, and I kind of got to the point at some point, I was like, man, I mean, if I go down there and everything matches what the sphere says, how am I going to believe in flat Earth? And that's what happened. And that kind of what ultimately broke me. And I tried to maintain. And it just, so there's a mental block that I think, I can't write a book on it because this is probably just my conjecture. What I assume is that your brain puts up a protection for what its current knowledge is. So once you believe in flat Earth, you've adopted it, your brain understands it. Oh, this is how seasons work. Oh, this is how the sun works. It's a laser beam sun or something. Once you have that in your head, your brain then blocks any information that would counter that truth, what your brain thinks is truth. So it takes some allowing that to get in and think about it, but most flat earthers are not going to do that because they don't think the Earth could be a sphere, right? They say, we know it's not a sphere, therefore blankety, blankety, blank. And the reason for that is because, again, why would Stephen Hawking lie about it if it was a sphere? So that's the problem. But that is the mental block. And I don't know why they can't see TFE is, I'll tell you, somebody who is a big name, I'd say bigger name. It's a big name. It's not huge name, but a big name in the flat Earth. Talked to him this week, and he said his exact words were, who would have guessed that this would be the final experiment? So I thought that was interesting. Probably be on my channel soon to tell you that he is no longer on Team Fleur. So we got here, how alien did it feel seeing a completely different night sky? Did it feel weirder than a 24-hour sun? That's not the smartest of comments. Do you understand why? So if I saw a 24-hour sun, oh, you mean, well, okay, sorry, I take that back. Yeah, I did see a different night sky in Punta Arenas, and that was very weird. It seemed like completely foreign. I mean, nothing looked like what you're used to. Where's Orion's belt? Everything was just different. I thought you were talking about in Antarctica. Of course, in Antarctica, we did not see any stars because it was daytime the whole time. All right, we've got, why do you think seasons are harder to explain on a globe? The tilt does it perfectly. I super chatted it earlier. I'll get to super chats. Yeah, I'm going to actually look at those right now. But because of the fact that we have to believe that the sun is closer in our winter. So that is just hard to fathom, right? It just makes more sense that the flat Earth, the way it described the sun, it comes closer on its inner track, it gets high up in the sky, and it's the longer days for the north, and that's when we feel the sun, and then it goes further out towards the south, which would be our winter, and that's why it gets cold. So it's just easier to explain. And then in the heliocentric model, you have to believe that the sun is closer, 3 million miles closer in the southern summer, our winter. And then when the sun comes for our summer, when it's 115 degrees here every day, and this next year, I'm not even going to wear underwear anymore. I think I'm over that. But then we have to ask the question. I mean, it's just easier to explain. That's all. But I get it. I'm not saying that the globe Earth explanation isn't possible. It seems to be what's right. So that's the other thing. People are just really, really on my case about, well, how could you buy, you must believe then in dark matter and dark energy. No, I don't. Dark energy and dark matter are like the cutting edge of nonsense. They're just theories like string theory and all this bullshit. Nobody's figuring out any of that in our lifetime. Okay? Get over it. Let Machu Picchu and Lawrence Fishburne, what's his name? Lawrence Krauss, let them worry about it, because I don't have interest in that. That's the other thing. I do not want to teach the globe. So this is going to be over pretty quickly, because I don't think it's my job to teach the globe. In flat Earth, when you think people are being lied to, you get on, you're like, all right, let's teach flat Earth because people are being lied to. Once I realize they're not being lied to, I don't have a desire to then say, okay, now I didn't go to school, I didn't go to college and become a astrophysics major. There's a reason. It didn't really interest me, and I hate Star Wars and I hate Star Trek. Sue me. So I don't want to teach the globe. Now, I understand it enough to tell you, because I've been doing this for 10 years, and you have to steel man these globe arguments, so I understand their arguments. And they were always possible, but they didn't seem to fit as well as the flat Earth until you have a disqualifier. And that's what happened. Flat Earth got disqualified. Let's look at super chats, because I don't see any more questions on here, which is good, I guess. Oh, there's a lot more. Let's go to fan funding. I just want to get these out of the way. My bad on that. All right, we got some super chats. We've got Dave McKeegan. JeRant will be the last human alive because he'd managed to be late for the apocalypse. That's it. If I had something to throw at you, I would, but I don't have anything. I don't have anything. We've got JD, $9.99. Thank you very much for the heart. We've got Richard Walker. Join the Jeranism Club. By the way, join the Jeranism Club. Be a good guy. Or go buy some moringa at shop.jeranism.com. Or send a tip, because I'm now the most hated and marked individual in the flat Earth history. And you know what happens when that goes down. We got an MX $50, 50 Mexican xylophone coins, which are nice. JeRant, greetings from Mexico. Jesus Calleja is going to reach the space station on Tuesday. Oh, I was on your show, right? I believe that's the guy. I was on his show. It was actually good. But he told me about some guy, Jesus Calleja, is going to space on Tuesday. All right. I will look him up and see. And you think, oh yeah, you're a believer, so you think he's going to space. And what did I tell you? Remember me telling you it was going to get canceled? So let's see what happens. By the way, Arctic Reflections, are you out there? You are getting the most late fees ever added to your bill. There's somebody who's owed me $500 since June of last year. I let him get away with waiting till the end of December. It is now February and going to be soon March. And this old man, he played one. He didn't give me the money that I want. Don't ask me why. He owes me. And 10% interest per week. Figure it out. You're already at what? 7 weeks? So 500 becomes, 550 becomes, you keep going with the 10% every week. That's what happens, or else you get your legs broke. That's what I was taught by my grandpa, or to call Cousin Jimmy. Thank you. Knowing what you know, back up. Knowing what you know now, do you think that some of the prominent flat earthers know the earth is round but say it isn't to make money? No, there's no really money in flat earth. So I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, yes, Dave Weiss makes money, but beyond that, I don't think anybody's lying about it. But I think that your brain puts that mental block up, and then you just make up anything. So I've said it before, right? Remember when I said that Neil deGrasse Tyson could never realize he was wrong about the sphere Earth? Because once you've taught all those classes and you've taught all those children, your brain won't allow you to even think that you're wrong. Well, of course, I didn't play that in reverse, but that's the case now. To where Dave Weiss has been doing all these interviews. He cannot accept, for instance, that he was wrong about all those interviews. So he has to make up whatever thing his brain will let him make up that allows him to continue on. So is that a lie, or is it just his brain doing kung fu? And it's not very impressive kung fu. It's like old man kung fu, because laser suns bouncing off of the non-existent wall or whatever, and then it only has a 10-mile radius, and then it passes off to this guy. What are you talking about? There's a whole continent called Antarctica. Then all the people see what we saw. So how many laser beam passer offer guys do they have shining laser beam suns off the non-firmament wall? Many, I guess. All right, let's. So no, I can't think of anybody that I think is lying. Although I think some people are just refusing to see the evidence. Like anybody who believes in the upward rising Earth, it's very easy to disprove. Simple. In simple fashion, you just need to know this: if the Earth were accelerating upwards, which it would need to match observation, since things accelerate downwards, then it would be going at a never-ending rate. So we would be going right now many times faster than the speed of light. Okay, so we know that's not the case. We're not going upwards through space. So that's not the case. Then their other option is they say, oh, well, the Earth is just moving up at a constant rate. It's not accelerating, which is ludicrous. And their excuse for that is that there is no evidence of downward acceleration. And I've already tried to bet any of these people. Let's take an item that we know is not accelerating, like a car going 1 mile per hour, and let it drive from 1,000 feet and hit me. Then we'll let a car from a 1 foot drive 1 mile per hour and hit you. We'll both be fine. Why? Because there was no acceleration. The car was going 1 mile per hour. And then we'll take that brick and we'll hold it 1 foot above my head and drop it, and it will hurt. Brick is heavy. My head is not as hard as that brick. And then we will take a brick and we'll drop it from 1,000 feet on your head. And I hate to tell you, it's not going to feel the same as the brick that fell on my head. Why is that? Why does the 1,000-foot brick, if the 1,000-foot car going 1 mile per hour hurts us both the same, why would the brick drop from 1,000 feet hurt more than the brick drop from 1 foot? Well, that's called something called downward acceleration. And it has been proven. And so when you tell your audience that you are a upward rising Dumbo, just know that that is a lie on your part, because you have to be smart enough to realize why it needs to be discarded. Dell, drop it. Level-headed William, drop it. It's over. It's that simple. There's no arguing past that point. Either you have to accept that we're moving upwards at a never-ending perpetual rate of increasing the 9.8 meters per second squared over how long has the Earth been around? So we're probably going 75 trillion times faster than the speed of light at this point. That can't be true. Or you have to believe that there's no downward acceleration, which in that case, let's go do the contest where we drop bricks on your head. And then you'll learn real quickly that you are now muerto. And you can no habla, no más. All right? And you know what that is? I know it's going to you're going to hate this.
Oh, there goes gravity.
Just saying. Just saying. All right, we've got, knowing what you know now. Yes. We've got AE, doesn't show seasons better. Tilt, best explanation. What? 2 times as much sun hits same area in summer hemisphere per hour, and day is longer exposure. Yeah, well, I don't know if you really get the point. So if we're just talking about which one explains it better, sure, I said the flat Earth, but obviously the flat Earth has the sun going the wrong direction. So we're not actually arguing about this. It's a very simple topic just to say it's a better looking map for seasons. Makes more sense. It's easier to explain than tilting and angles of sun and longer exposures. I just said that it explains it simpler. That's it. But it's wrong. So no need to argue. I believe you. And you are correct, Sir Gibletto. I almost said Gilberto. All right, we've got... I lost these people again. Here we go. Flat Earth is dead. Thank you, Carlos de Angel. Check out his channel. Is that your channel name? Check out his channel. He's got some good shows. I don't know if he does everything in Spanish. He did my show in English. Thank you, by the way. My Spanish is should be put into the basura because it's mierda, as you know. All right, we've got... Nope. No more apps from Dave. Too many data leaks. That's true. I guess no. Dave, yeah, cut that off. No more. Yeah. So I believe it. By the way, if you still have the app, I've been told that it's still open. So I would be very careful if I were you. Again, it does no good to call Dave because I tried that. We've got, you spread it around for 9 years. Yes. So you are to blame. Partially. I agree. It's good you are trying to correct the error, but one has to wonder why it took 9 years. Don't try to blame others. Well, when others lie to you, who do I blame for that? So you expect me to just get over the fact of the lies that I just showed? See, I don't think you get it, that if that didn't happen, it would be a lot more difficult to be a flat earther. When somebody lies about the shape of the earth, think about it. What other shows have gone on national TV to prove the shape of the earth? There isn't any. There isn't any. The shows were Discovery Channel, they lied. Stephen Hawking, they lied. Behind the Curve, they lied. So I disagree with your premise where everything, I agree with everything up to there to where you said don't try to blame others. I'm not blaming others, but I'm certainly putting some onus in their camp. And if you don't, you're part of the problem. If you can't say science shouldn't lie, like I didn't lie. I just believed something that was false. Do you understand the difference? I didn't fake any experiments to prove that the earth was flat. I didn't use CGI in any of my experiments to prove that the earth was flat. I actually went out and filmed the sun and moon as the ISS went across them. I went out and actually tried to do laser experiments. I didn't lie. Those guys lied. So isn't it weird and ironic that I was telling the truth about what ended up being false, and those guys were lying about what ended up being true? So do you see how there's a disconnect there that I don't think I should have to explain to people? Because I cannot explain that. JeRant, why did those guys lie? I fucking don't know. Well, wouldn't it mean that they couldn't prove the curvature? You would think that that's what it would mean. Yes. So let's make them do it again. I'll get some emails for you next week, and people can back me if we don't get John Timmer to agree this week in sending an email saying, I'm a flat earther. You owe me that experiment again. You have the money. PBS has plenty of funds. They can go take a camera crew out there and a helicopter and do it again. And I'll be there with them. I'll drive there. All right, we've got... I need to have a discussion with me. What? You need to have a discussion with me about UFO UAP. Thank you, Amape Deed. Thank you for the super chat, $2. You can reach me on Telegram, t.me/Jeranism. Sweet. We've got Osborne1602. Kudos for changing your paradigm. Thank you for keeping mitigated skepticism alive. Thank you. Your clips and presentations are top. Hey, I appreciate that, man. That's a nice guy. I wish more people saw what you just saw. No, but I appreciate that. Yeah, and the thing is, I clearly know, like for instance, the moon landing. Am I open to it being a possibility that I've been wrong? Yes. And would I've ever said that 6 months ago? Hell no. But once you realize, okay, I was shown that I was wrong and that I believe things that were false. So I have to be open to that being a possibility. I'm not going to just stomp my feet and say, nope, I'm not turning. I'll never believe the moon. Nope. Dave McKeegan says he can prove it to me. I've got some pretty good evidence of mountains in the distance not moving, not having any parallax. I've got rocks on the side of the craft not having parallax. We've got lots of questions. Okay, lots of questions. So I would like to hear the answers for what clearly is a backdrop used. And again, people are all saying, oh, but so they say there's a scene with the car driving around and the dust gets lifted up and they're like, it's impossible unless it's in a vacuum. And in my opinion, you would be able to, the guys were in a spacesuit. So couldn't you make a semi-near vacuum to where when they drove around in that car, it made it look like it was in a vacuum? Or not, sorry, it wouldn't even need to be a vacuum because it's only 1/6. Oh, no, there's no atmosphere there. Sorry, my bad. Getting things confused, getting gravity confused with atmosphere. So anyway, I'm open. We're going to have that show. It might be a couple segments and we will go through the evidence and we'll let Dave, who actually is a nice guy. Okay, as much as I have to tell you the story. We're in Punta Arenas and we're having this argument, right? It's between, basically, I had brought papers for everyone to sign that said that they wouldn't use our likeness without our approval. And I kind of announced to everybody at the end of our little meeting, we had a meeting at the office of ALE. I said, hey guys, I want you to sign these papers. And anyway, we get into it, right? Basically, we almost went home. At one point, Duffy said, like, fine, we're not doing it. Then you guys can't go. And then we're like, fine, we're not going. And then me and Austin were like, we're not going then. So everybody was like, really, it was kind of high tensions, high pitched fever there. And then we started talking, we calmed down and we were going back and forth and everybody was complaining. I'm like talking about globers. I'm like, look, we don't need you guys if the sun sets. We don't need to show video of you, but you guys need to show video of us because it's about the embarrassment. It's about, and I was like, we don't need to even do videos about you. I don't do videos about you guys. You guys do videos about me. And then Dave McKeegan said, well, JeRant, let me just, so I'm pretty sure that you did a video not too long ago and its title is Dave McKeegan is a shill. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sometimes we do videos about you guys, just sometimes, but like, we don't need to do, I don't do any videos about you. It's like, JeRant, what about that one video? Dave McKeegan is a shill. Oh, yeah, that one. Somebody else did that. My wife did that, I think. We've got Carlos de Angel. Jesus Calleja is going to reach this space on Tuesday, by the way. Cheers from Mexico, John. So he's going to reach the space on Tuesday. Where is he going with who? With the ISS? I mean, I don't get it. Who's flying up there? Do we need to look this up? Jesus Calleja. Do you like this guy? Is he a friend of yours? Do you know him or something? Jesus Calleja. J-A. How's he getting to space? Oh, he looks white. Wait. You mean he's going on Blue Origin? Hold on a second. Hold on. What's going on here? Why do I see him standing next to a Blue Origin craft? Jesus Calleja. Yeah, you'll have to tell me. I don't have time to look at it during the show. But how is he getting there? I don't see any. What is this? No, I don't see anything. Anyway, supposedly this guy's going to space, and we will see. I'm sure he's super rich and 1.3 million followers. Wow, that is a lot of followers. Okay, and let me see this. By the way, if you are looking for gifts for your mother or grandmother this year, I want to find them for you. Where is it? Here. No. I thought there was a pack. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there we go. So make sure you, if you need a gift idea, I think this is the best gift. Probably for mothers and grandmothers and wives. Get them the brand new Blue Origin rocket over here. And watch the surprise as they open that gift on Christmas Day and immediately go, oh, JeRant! Oh, my goodness. Like what? Nana, I thought that, I can't believe you. This is disgusting. It's like, that's a rocket. Nana, it's a rocket. What? It's a rocket. Oh, I saw the glands here in the shaft, the huevos. Probably the worst gift you could ever get a female. But I would like to just see that, just to watch them open it and laugh hysterically. All right, let's... Why would you do that? Why is it packaged like that? I mean, might as well have like a Lexington steel or something on the side of here. No, he's black. I don't know, some white, who's a white porn star, I don't know any names. Ron Jeremy, put him on the side and it actually fits perfectly. All right, isn't he in jail now? I think so. All right, let's go to the questions. Here we go, back over here. So, did somebody send another one? He is going to space. Yeah, I got that one. Okay, good. Oh, there's more. He's going to space on the Tuesday, by the way. Okay, we got that. We got Tyler here says, as a pilot, sorry, let me get you back on the screen so you can see where we're at. My bad. Unplugged. There we go. As a pilot, I know that part, but I don't remember the rest. As a pilot, I get a lot of nuh-uh from flat earthers. They try to tell me I'm wrong about aviation. Can you help me understand that mindset? Yes, I guess it would be that the things that we thought, at least for me, that we thought were ways that they get around the airlines is, for instance, there's a unit, inertial navigation unit, that is sealed to any pilot, and only Honeywell can repair it. And there's a story about a guy who his wasn't working, and he called for repair before the flight took off, and they just told him, just go without it. And he noticed that he expected it to do things that it did not do. And he couldn't, there was nobody to fix the unit, but he kind of realized, well, the unit isn't doing what it's supposed to do, which is used to basically correct for the dip, I guess, if you will, or the change due to the gyroscope. So my opinion would be that they think that you are just fooled like the rest. And I thought the same thing of Wolfie. So Wolfie used to tell me, JeRant, I'm a pilot, so I know the Earth's a sphere. I said, okay, but how do you know it's a sphere? Now, if he would have gone ways like the direction of the sun or something like that, he just said, because I'm flying over a ball. I'm like, no, you're not. You're flying above a flat Earth, and you wouldn't be able to tell you're on a ball. How would you know that? You're never going to go over any curve. You're going to be above the flat Earth. So I'm just saying that that's why I think that they don't think that the plane accounts for any curvature, which I don't even think that, to be honest with you. I think that the plane flies over the plane of the Earth. And it just so happens that just like the 660 feet and 1/8 curvature, that's how much the plane needs to go down every 660 feet, which it does just by its altitude. It's not changing. If a plane noses down, the plane is going to lose altitude. So it's not nosing down. So I'm guessing that's why. I don't know what other things they're telling you on. that guy Kelsey, who came out with his video, he's like some pilot, famous pilot. He comes out with a video and says, Flat Earthers, $1 million challenge. Come and get a chartered flight with my company. I'll fly it. We'll go down there, blah, blah, blah. So I reach out because I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. We can get enough people to buy tickets on this plane. Let's do it. And I called him and he's like, Instagram messaging. And I was like, hey, can you tell us what the price would be and what your airline is? He's like, oh, no, what? I'm not a travel agent. I'm like, no, but you said in your video there's a challenge to Flat Earthers, so we're willing to take you up on it. So we just need to know what airline you are so we can find out the price to charter. He's like, oh, I'm not going to tell you what airline I work for. Like, but you said in your video that you were going to fly the plane and you were going to charter it from your company. Well, yeah, you need to look into that. Okay, thank you, Kelsey. So the pilots have, and then there's a lot of pilots that I don't know if you've seen, that when they're asked, they at least say it's flat. Now, they may not know what's being asked of them, and they might be saying, like, there's no curve when I fly my plane, which there isn't. We keep the altitude thing to the horizon. That's how we maintain altitude. So I think that that's probably why they don't believe all pilots. And then, it's a sad thing because I did see, was it Will Duffy? Somebody was saying he doesn't think there's any flat Earth pilots, but there was the girl that came on Glowbusters from KSP, I believe is the name of the airline. She came on, talked flat Earth. There's a video of her somewhere online of her doing a presentation. And the next day she was grounded by the airline. She called us and said, I need you to remove that video from Glowbusters and remove my name because they'll never let me fly again since I spoke out. So that was the last we heard of her. Anybody remember her name? I don't think it's like is KLM the name of it? If I go KLM pilot, flat Earth presentation. I think it's probably gone. She probably had it pulled. It's my guess. Let's see. Wait, there she is. I found her. What's her name again? Wait, what? Oh, no, that's not. I thought that was her. It's just a KLM pilot in front of a whiteboard, but I thought that was it. Nope, it doesn't look like we have it. Sorry. I got your hopes up. I just know she's a KLM pilot. I think. Wait, maybe. No. I don't see anything. And I put KLM pilot flat Earth and pilot flat Earth. Pilots are taught to work with the fact that the Earth is a sphere. It is part of the education to become a pilot. Their job depends on the knowledge that the Earth is a sphere. I don't know about that. Sorry. That's just a stretch to me. So you're saying, Mr. Pilot, maybe you could tell me, Tyler. He's saying that their job depends on the knowledge that the Earth is a sphere. So I don't really get that. If you became a flat earther tomorrow and said, I don't think the Earth's a sphere anymore, I think it's flat, you wouldn't change the way you fly. So what does that mean? I don't understand what that means. What, they teach pilots that they have to know that the Earth's a sphere or they're going to crash the plane? That doesn't make any sense. They fly by dials. They fly by the gauges on the craft. I don't think you need to know the Earth's a sphere to fly a plane. Do I need to know the Earth's a sphere to ride in a plane? No. Plane's just going to do what the plane's going to do. I don't really know what that means. Maybe I'm wrong. I just can't imagine that being that important. Like the Earth, you don't have to change something like, oh, we actually have to do this because it's a sphere and we would do this if it was flat. No, press a button, fly down, make sure you have clearance, talk to the flight control. They might say go around, don't, if they tell you go around twice, get mad at them, tell them this is unacceptable. I know how to fly. All right, let's go to the next one. But I agree with you. They shouldn't do that. And pilots are very good for information. You should go to them. I've talked to very smart people that are pilots. I've got a friend who's a pilot who wants to get me up there and flying, and I don't really feel it. The new Glenn rocket vibrates. That's funny. That's good. We've got Mar Science says, science do not lie. People do. I do not lie. All right. I give it to you. That is incorrect for me to, what is it called? Anthropomorphize or something? Whatever. I don't think you should be giving science abilities to lie. You're right. People lie. And if you are doing it on behalf of science, just know you're doing more damage than you would ever believe. Like, PBS probably has no idea the amount of flat earthers that they've created and cemented by doing that. It was absolutely the worst thing you could do. Don't do that. We've got Mar Science again. He says, I will use that example on Monday in class. Vertical motion versus horizontal motion. Thank you. All right, good. I got one right. Right. You mean like with whether there's acceleration or not, right? Right. Obviously, we cannot drop something from the top of a building and say, here, go 1 mile per hour on the way down. No, it will go faster and faster and faster as it falls to the tune of 9.8 approximately meters per second squared. So let's go to the next one. We've got, thanks, Jeranism. Appreciate the candor. Thank you, Gibletto. Appreciate that. We've got Mars Science again with $1. Thank you very much. We've got the new Glen rocket vibrates. I love it. We've got DCRC says, I live in Fairbanks, Alaska. It's been flat for over a decade, and the southern sun is the deal breaker. Any idiot claiming it's fake, what you recorded is just grifting at this point, or a follower of one. Thank you very much to DCRC, who lives in Fairbanks and has reached the correct conclusion that we were all wrong. I apologize. If you want to put the blame on me, hey, I put in, you can see right behind there on the thumbnail, it says always honest, sometimes right. So when it came to the flat earth, that sometimes didn't happen. That was a always honest and definitely wrong about the South. So I apologize, but we got to the right answer. So nobody said there was a time limit. It just took 10 years we just asked for evidence of the globe, and it took them 10 years. And William Duffy and his satanic church. That's all it took. That's a joke, by the way. I'm saying, sorry. It's just people. I think that's the funniest thing ever to say about somebody that just because that person's satanic. Really, what did they do? Well, they took some people down to Antarctica and paid for them. No. Yep, he did. And he believes in the sphere and got on his channel and said, I believe in a sphere. And other people believe in the flat earth. So clearly he's satanic. Yeah, but what babies did he sacrifice? Well, he said he believes in a globe. Yeah, I know that, but what babies? Where's the satanic practices? Well, I don't think he's really preaching at a church. I think that the church is empty because the camera's just on him in the church. Oh, yeah, there's no way to figure that out. Can't send somebody there on Sunday and figure out whether he's preaching or not. You're a good call. Probably Satanist. I would go that way. I would just call people a Satanist right away. Makes sense. That's the way I look at things. All right, let's see. Is there more? We did that one. We did this one. People lie. Oops. Nice. You said science lies. We all know people do. Where decide the distinction is? Well, all science is done by people. There is no such thing as a scientific test or experiment that isn't decided by people. So the problem clearly lies with people. And they're probably, at these science organizations, they're probably given budgets and they're given time frames. And so they feel like they have to do something in order to get it done or to get it done in time. And the problem is they need to recognize the damage that they're doing. You do not want to give conspiracy theorists ammo. And one of the best ammos a conspiracy theorist can have is direct evidence that a scientific enterprise or government agency is lying, because it confirms the suspicion. So if you're like, I think the earth could be flat, and they're like, no, it's definitely a sphere. Oh, by the way, PBS is going to do a television show on it on Sunday. Oh, great. I'll look at that because that's the answer, right? That's PBS, our tax money. Let's do it. And you go look and they fake it. Do you think that person's going to go, I still think the earth's a sphere because they faked it, but no, they immediately go, I knew it. And I fell for that as well. And it was one of my main talking points. No matter what anybody said, I could always go back to, yeah, but Stephen Hawking faked the curvature of the earth. Nat Geo faked it. Behind the Curve faked it. Your wife fakes it. Okay? That's just the way it goes. All right, let's go on. We've got this one. So every long distance observation is explained by refraction now. You accepted an explanation for star trails and such, but reject the sun's behavior may simply be unknown. Selective skepticism. No. It's selective retardation. If you're saying the sun's behavior may simply be unknown. Is that anywhere near correct? Survey says? No. The sun's behavior is known. It's above the tropics at all times. It'll never be south of the Tropic of Capricorn. We know the path of the sun. Just because you heard somebody on YouTube say we don't, and it's an apparent sun, and that's what you want to hear, it's not okay. Okay? You said, so every long-distance observation is explained by refraction now. Well, sure. I mean, you need to give me one that you don't think can be explained by refraction. What is the observation that you don't think can? I mean, people act like we see 700 miles. We don't. Okay, we see 20 miles when we should see 15. And again, here's one way to describe it. If you have a sphere Earth, now granted, we're taking the example of having a sphere Earth, and on it you put a magnifying glass every 7 or 8 inches or something. Would you be able to see around bends of that ball? And remember, Rob Skiba said, the atmosphere, it acts like a blank. First one to give me that answer in the chat wins the coin. That's your question. What did Rob Skiba say? The atmosphere acts like a what? First one to get it. Let me get back over there. Somebody's going to win the coins full of debunked maps. Let's see who's going to win. Is it going to be Mars Science? Is it going to be Z.H. Kane? Is it going to be Shiloh Carpenter? No. Shiloh Carpenter says the sun's behavior is because it is projected from a center toroid. You need to look in at... no, Mirage is incorrect. Pretty Cool is incorrect. Hamburgers. Nick wins. Nick wins. Who is this? Nick who? Oops. There's Nick. All right, Nick, can you reach out on Telegram, t.me/Jeranism, and I will get you this very cool, the Flat Earth Coin Series 2015 to 2019 by BlueMoonBase.com, and a bunch of debunked map coins. Very cool. All right, so he said it's like a lens. Okay, we've shown that, and actually you can see things in the distance that look like they're lensed forward. So now imagine that you're looking over a long distance over a ball Earth. Do you realize that the lens that you see, and somebody could do this and actually show an example of, if you put magnifying glasses, or if you put sunglasses even, or not sunglasses, but reading glasses, along a ball, right, and you looked from an edge, you would be able to see slightly over it. Well, if the atmosphere acts like a lens, and there's lenses throughout the entire way, do you understand that you'd be able to see further? So it's not that much of a stretch for me. That's a lot different than saying, yeah, I can see that happening, than somebody saying, oh, it's actually a reflected sun that has been manifested and duplicated over here, exactly where the globe predicts, and we say we predicted it. Speaking of Dirtball of the week, Mr. Alfonso. So it's a big difference between what you're saying and the actual truth. Okay, you can't just, because you want something to, I mean, it's so desperate to be grasping at things like that and expecting us to just buy into it. Here's another thing. The globe Earth needs, like we've all laughed at the impossible eclipse, right? It's an impossible eclipse. The globe Earth needs 0.6 refraction, or degrees, on each side to lift the sun and the moon above the horizon and make it possible. Okay, 0.6. It's a total of 1.2. So they need 1.2 degrees. And flat earthers laugh hysterically and say, oh, these guys are idiots, an impossible eclipse. How are you going to explain that? And they're like, can we have 1.2 degrees of refraction? They're like, no, you're not getting any refraction, bro. It's fake. Okay, great. Here comes Stephen Alfonso along, and the manifesting of the sun, when it's above Australia, they're like, oh shit, it's actually supposed to be south of the people in Antarctica. What do we do now? Let's duplicate it. Boom, there's a duplicated sun. Let's put it where the globe says it should be. Doop. And let's say we predicted it. Do you understand the difference between those? Do you understand that there's quite a difference, that that's not possible and not something that anybody should go for? And that's embarrassing. We watched the sun the entire time we're there go around us for 4 days. Get it? It's not a question. That's not a manifested, projected from the center of the black sun with the Masonic, Freemason, Jewish cabal. It's not the case. The Earth, and this is why I like Nick Havoc. He describes it so perfect. Should we watch a little bit Nick Havoc real quick? Just because he's good. He explains it so, just like everyone should get it. He's like, yeah, man, I've been a flat earther for 10 years, but I understand what it means if we see a 24-hour sun. He gets it. And he put out a video 2 hours ago. Okay, we got to watch this just because I think it's funny. I didn't know he put out a video 2 hours ago called Scammers. Wonder who he's calling a scammer. Let's see. See what he's got to say. How long is this? 3 minutes only? I have no idea what to expect here.
Dear dumb flurfs, I tried to be nice, but you pissed me off not once but twice.
Yeah.
About to lay you out, put your body on ice. Your brains are small, like that of mice.
I like it.
Like that idiot Weiss with his faulty app. Ripping people off with his debunk map. You'll want to snap, time is coming soon. He's a total grifter, a complete buffoon. Thinking giant rockets are helium balloons. Lies every day, confused about the moon. When he debates, he sounds like a loon. He should spend more time learning from Toon. The guy is a goon, stealing all your money. Behind your back, he laughs, thinking it's funny.
I didn't know what this video was. I'm guilty. Innocent.
Can't admit that in the South it's always sunny. Hustlers, scammers, liars, and grifters. If they could make $1, they'd sell out their their sister. Got you mixed up like your brains in a twister. Afraid to tell the truth, not even a whisper.
Nice job.
Yelling fallacy and not taking a stance. Every single day he's repeating the chant.
Sounds like Nathan Oakley to me.
You know who it is, the scammer Nathan Oakley. His daughter is hungry, make her macaroni. Her dad's full of baloney. Go back to school. When they learned about shapes, he'd sit and drool. Confused about angles, he sounds like a tool. Blowing hot air like the ass of a mule. Saying dumb shit and acting a fool.
Yeah, but you can't. It's curved baseline. Curved baseline.
At the bottom of the human gene pool. Being a flurf doesn't make you cool. Ain't saying nothing new, he's on the wrong path. Totally confused, not knowing the math. Stinky money hustler, he needs a bath. Crushed with true knowledge, he will feel the wrath. Hustlers, scammers, liars, and grifters. If they could make $1, they'd sell out their sister. Got you mixed up like your brains in a twister. Afraid to tell the truth, not even a whisper. As for the others, they all want to try, but just mention the
He's gonna be in there.
and watch them all cry. With no answers, their glands are dry. Smoking weed all day, their brains are fried. Totally high, but can't see
one joint a day only.
Thinking they're smart with the dumbest proofs. Calling their shots, wishing they were Babe Ruth. But got globe smacked, now they're missing a tooth. But don't jump off a roof, it will be okay. On this big sphere Earth, you can gladly stay.
Hey.
Don't need to pray, just look at the facts. You need to calm down and stop the attacks.
I agree.
Recognize reality, quit being a quack. Acting crazy like you've been smoking crack. Please
Put the crack back down.
all the ineffective flat smacks. If you tell the truth, we will take you back.
Nick Havoc, everybody. Nick Havoc, nice job. That would surprise me. I didn't expect that. So anyway, he did a couple videos where he's just walking. It's good to listen to because he explains it better than most. Where's the one that he did here? This one. I thought that he had a video, something about the Democratic Party I watched. What was that one? I don't see it now. Anyway, he does pretty good videos. Top 3 dumbest claims. Why don't you be able to? There's so much winning. National Picture Debt Day. Okay. Worst globe proofs. Huh, maybe he got rid of one of his videos. I don't see it now. It was good though, I thought. Maybe I'm tripping out. Don't see it. Anyway. I don't know about this one. This one here is pretty good. He just talks about...
And then automatically I just start going in to all my talking points. I start talking about, how does the atmosphere stick onto the sky? How are astronauts up there surviving in a vacuum with a cloth suit on? How come water doesn't seem like it bends and it always finds its level? I start going into all the talking points.
And he describes it perfectly because he understands that the real world is a world of reality. We don't have manifesting, disappearing mystery suns. We don't have second suns. There's no examples of that. Oh, I did see one video on TikTok, Sharon. I saw this video. It's 2 suns. No, you didn't. You saw a fake video, and nobody who's ever said they've seen a second sun has zoomed into that sun and seen sunspots and then zoomed into the other one and seen sunspots because that's not possible. It's just a little ghosting, or it's your camera, or you're inside and you're looking through a double pane glass. Let's go. So he explains that, yeah, we had some good arguments. We had some good evidence. We had some explanations for things. But in order for it to be true, it has to match reality. The sun goes the wrong way because it's a sphere. So the flat earth map should have been discarded long ago. Was Jake the asshole right? He was. Now, if there was evidence of the 24-hour sun, then I think I would have maybe listened a little better. But I said, okay, so it looks like it's setting that way. It could be because of the dome refraction or whatever dome optics. So again, I have my responsibility as well. That people were telling me. I think even Ronnie and Jason told me years ago. Now they still believe in some horse shit, so it's not like it helped them. That's for sure. Didn't help either one of them. And I'm sure they're predicting the end of the world again this year, as they do every year, and every year are humbled as they show up the next day after that day that they predict, and to go, oh, well, God is, he's letting it go another season, another half season. So anyway, Nick Havoc is good to listen to if you are a flurf who's going through withdrawals, if you need to go to Alcoholics Anonymous, but it's not really Alcoholic Anonymous, it's called Flat Earth Anonymous, where you stand up and say, I used to be dumb, but now I've recovered and regained some of my brains, very little, but some. And that's okay. The brain starts to come back to you. You feel better. I'm telling you, you feel better. If you're a flat earther who feels all high strung and you're all upset all the time and pissed off at this, just go back to the globe. All of a sudden you're like, oh, it feels okay. It's all right here. He makes a lot of sense too about one of the reasons that he thinks that's so bothersome why people dig their feet in to flat earth is imagine you become a flat earther and you start looking into the science, so-called, right? So you have all these flat earth facts. You've got all these globe facts. You know how fast the globe spins. You know how fast it moves through space. You know a lot about it. You know how far the moon is. You know how far the sun's said to be. So once you have that knowledge, then some idiot comes along. And here's the thing. You can be a retard and believe in the sphere Earth. So the thing is, you meet a lot of these people that are just, you're so dumb. The Earth's not flat. The Earth's a sphere. And you're like, well, how fast does it spin? Well, it doesn't matter, dude. It's just, you know, it's Earth. So that pisses you off. You're like, this guy hasn't looked into it at all. He can't be right. But there is a thing called human acquired knowledge. And it affords something to those of us that may be not the sharpest crayon in the knife drawer. Okay? And what it affords us is sometimes people have already done the work for you. Sometimes they lie. Thank you, PBS. Thank you, Nat Geo. Thank you, Behind the Curve. But sometimes they don't. And so, unfortunately, it is a fact that if you are a retard, you can just say we live on a sphere and you're immediately actually smarter than flat earthers. Even if they've put in 10 years of research, you're right and they're wrong. So that's, you know, Nick's made a good point there that's very upsetting, and you go into immediate defense mode to where this guy doesn't know about the Earth. I did the research, and so he must be wrong about it. Not true. You cannot base what's right or wrong about people's attitudes towards it. Sometimes assholes are correct. They're correct. And sometimes very nice people are wrong. Right? In my case. Anyway, thank you, Nick, for... although I did really like that video that you don't see now. Winning National Pet Day. He must have got rid of it. It's the only thing I can think of. Because I don't see that video. Unless it was like... Oh, wait. Maybe it was a while ago. Now I think about it. There's another original song. I won't click it. I want to. Yeah, this one's just good. Let me see if we can find a good part.
What's up? Nick Havoc, you're out. Boy, they'll be on you. They'll yell at you, call you names.
Let's listen to this.
Still showing up in Eric DeBay videos. I haven't made a meme in like 8 years. So anyways, guys, the Flat Earth community is a joke. It is a complete cult.
Yep.
I simply made the statement, you know, I said something to the effect of, if there is a 24-hour sun in the South, that's going to have to make me rethink my position. And then I get all these, oh, you're a fake flat earther. And people start, you know, listing out all the statistics for the globe Earth and how it can't be true. It's like, oh my God, people like, you're telling me this like I don't know it?
Right.
You probably got that information from one of my memes.
Right.
I've heard it all. I've seen it all. I've been here through everything. And I've never been well liked within the flat earth community. I've always been kind of the black sheep, and that's fine with me because I'm not trying to be a part of that. Okay? The flat earth community and Democrats are one in the same. They're one in the same. If you break the rules, you're out. Boy, they'll be on you. They'll yell at you, call you names, call you this, call you that. You're a globetard.
Oh, I've heard it.
But whatever. They're on you if you go against the flat earth community.
Don't you dare.
And that includes a bunch of retarded shit. Like you have to believe that there were mud floods and giants and fucking the Mandela effect and oh my God.
By the way, I'll say here first. Mandela effect. 100%. How much?
100%.
False. Thank you. Anyway, Nick Havoc, check out his channel. I'll put a link to this video in the chat and you guys see that. Thank you. I'm doing it right now. Sorry, I see somebody asking for that. Oops. God, I always click that off there. So this is to that video, but you can find his channel from there. Nick Havoc, he deserves some more subs. He talks it out. You can watch him go through his progression. He goes through looking forward to the final experiment, saying just like me, he thought there was a chance it would set. If it does set, the flat Earth would be vindicated. Everything that we believed would be correct, and we could be carried around on the shoulders of Amazonian women. Then he says, but if the sun circles, then clearly the Earth's a globe. It's the only shape that answers the question. So to me, I look at this guy and I'm like, why can't all flat earthers just be this smart? It's very clear that you are grasping for straws with total copium, the nonsense. I mean, there's channels like Flatzoid's channel that have become a joke. It is a joke. For 2 months, they go on there every day and they sit around and discuss the fake experiments and the fake trip. I mean, imagine if you're Will Duffy, Toon, Critical Think, myself, Witsit, Lisbeth, Jonathan, Mark. Imagine how funny that is to watch a channel for 2 months talk about your fake experiment that was 100% legit. Not one thing about the trip wasn't legit. And people just like, they hear me say that and they're like, oh, JeRant's probably, when have I ever lied to you like that? Give me a break. Like, I'm going to sit here and tell you that it was 100% on the up and up, knowing that you could just go down there and then prove me wrong by, oh, the sunset, JeRant's the biggest liar ever. I mean, it's so stupid. We don't see things like that. We don't see that. I'm telling you the honest truth. This is what you have to, you're supposed to trust other people in your community. When I've been here for 10 years, it's not that, oh, he's a shill and he's been a shill for 10 years. You, sir, are a retard. You clearly knew for 10 years I was a flat earther. And in fact, you know, these two people that have messaged me or called me that are flat earthers or were, but are not going to be soon. They both said the same thing to me and I respected them for saying that. And I don't hear it from anybody else. They're like, what's awesome is that it was you and you've been at this for 10 years. So if anybody knows flat earth, you do. And you were able to make an observation that you knew doesn't fit with any version of flat earth and you got out. Congratulations. Nobody else sees it that way. People are so in love with their fake model that they would rather throw me under the bus and pretend like I'm lying. Here's the thing, flat earthers. If that's your position, recognize this. You will always be a flat earther, even if it's dead wrong. Because when people like myself come forward with evidence showing you that you're wrong, you just will immediately say they've been paid off. They're part of the plan. They're part of the elite. Well, then do you realize what you've done? You've cemented yourself in a cult. Because no information can ever be let in because you'll immediately say that the person who brought it is part of the cult or part of the cabal or part of the elite. So you've created yourself a religious belief. And here's the thing. Nobody cares. Go live out like David Koresh in Waco, Texas. You're fine. The problem is, for some reason, you think you're allowed or should be allowed in scientific discussions. It's been debunked. There is no scientific discussion that starts out with you saying, I don't have a map and I don't have a model. I don't make claims. Then go home. Watch Scooby-Doo. People in science make claims and back it with evidence. And they don't make up new things where they're like, wait, that doesn't match our model? What can we say? Okay, the thing, yeah. We say that the lights in the sky don't make the shape of the earth. There's no correlation at all to those. Yeah, but can we use it as evidence? No, you cannot. We don't accept it here. We don't move the goalposts ever, though. We just no longer accept anything in the sky as, can't make it because we don't know where the sky is. We don't know what the sun does. Oh, what's your horoscope? I'm a Gemini. Oh, how do you know that? Well, because that's the sun was what? Oh, we know where the sun is then? Oh, well no, this is pretend. We just kind of know some things, but we don't know everything. We can't know where the sun is. So we don't know where it is. We can't pinpoint it. We don't know where it's at right now. I bet you anything I could look up on SunCalc and tell you where the sun is right now. And it will be right. So we kind of know what the sun's doing. Kind of know it. We kind of know it. So anyway, I know that you think the Earth's flat, but no, it is not. All right, let's continue on with the chat here. Nick, you're going to reach out. Not Nick Havoc, but the other Nick's going to reach out for the coins. We're going back to check super chats, and then we're going to be skedaddling. Super chat. Or if there's some questions left, I might get to a couple more. Where are we at? What time is it? We're good. We got 14 minutes. All right. Where are we at here? Live chat? No. Fan funding. There we go. Okay, let's get to these last ones. So yeah, you said, so every long distance is explained by refraction. Yes, and like I told you, you can go test this yourself, put some magnifying glasses. You only need like 3 of them at, say, 2 inches apart each one, and then tell me if you can see further than the edge of the globe. Of course you can, because the one magnifying glass is looking to the next one, which is looking to the next one, which is looking around the bend. So, of course, from your perspective, way in the back, you can, or way in the front, you can see further than the globe Earth allows. Why? Because the lens or the atmosphere works like a lens. Thank you, Rob Skiba. By the way, another thing that was said, and I agreed with this person on the phone, Rob Skiba would not be a flat earther today. Rob Skiba would have immediately admitted that the Earth is not flat. That's the kind of research he did. He would not be saying, oh, it could be a refracted holographic focal point of light, because nobody thinks that. Nobody actually believes that. It's just copium, and then people that aren't smart enough to realize that other people are saying it for copium, and they latch it on like, yeah, that sounds good. No. We live in reality. Real things happen. The sun brings light and heat to the entire world. And therefore, if we know its path, if it just went wonky every day, up, down, went a little out, cut sideways, sometimes dipped over and hit the Earth, sometimes bounced off, then we could not use it to do anything, because it would just be everywhere and there's no determination there. But if it stays above the tropics and the equator every day of every year of every century, as far back as we can remember, then we can take a map and we can compare it to what the sun is doing. And if it doesn't match, then the map is wrong. It's called evidence. It's called telling the shape of the ground by the lights in the sky. Wow. Cool. All right, we've got More Science. I see that, but I need to get the unplugged screen back up, or else we can't see it together. Where'd you go? There we go. He says, it's not my job to satisfy people who think in a certain way. What? My job is to pass on what I've measured. Hawking was near death at the time. He had no idea what was being presented. They used his name. Okay, well, I'll agree with you on that. So, but PBS should not, especially if you're going to use a person's name who's almost dying, probably the discussion of, hey, we got to fake this helicopter. What do you think we should do? Whose name is on it? Stephen Hawking's going to die. Fake it. That's what I figured. I mean, it's just dumb. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with just saying, you're right, science shouldn't lie. The scientific enterprise, or the people behind operating on behalf of science, should be smart enough to never fake a science experiment, especially when you're trying to prove the shape of the Earth to people that are conspiracy theorists who believe the Earth is flat. The last thing you can do is lie. We don't even have an example of a flat earther doing something that disgusting. Can you imagine a flat earther showing? There's never been a flat earther who has used CGI to create a fake scene that they're passing off as proof that the Earth is flat. Do you understand that? Only the Globe has done that. Only the Globe has used CGI to prove their point, even though they're right. There's a problem there. No flat earther would ever do that, and yet you guys are okay with it being done. You know, I've never even heard of a globe earther say a word. Well, that's not true. Ruhif did a video, but besides that, and I know Ruhif tried to reach out to them just like I did. They don't get back to you. They don't answer you. I got blocked by Cat Bobineau and Joy and Dan the Waterman says, I really liked the show tonight. Thanks for mentioning something like Flat Earth Anonymous. Oh, if you want to use it for a show title, I think it would be cool. So Dan does have the idea of doing some sort of Flat Earth Anonymous thing. I haven't talked to him lately, but I got to talk to him and figure out what he wants. It's just an idea. Yes, I like your idea. We should have some sort of panel, Dan, for people that are, basically, it's like we're coming off a bender or something. We're in rehab, Rehab is for quitters. So we got, thank you, Dan. We've got Joshua Kelly says, do you think Austin is retarded too? He accepts we've never fully understand the sun's nature. How do you explain Earth's orbit changing speed unfelt? Because the speed that's changing is tiny. So you need to look into things before you just come here and say things. There's no change of speed that is anywhere near noticeable. I still think when I showed the other day how fast the Earth was spinning, people, the number one's like, JeRant thinks the Earth's spinning. I didn't say that. Relax. We can take things piece by piece. The most important thing for me is I now know the shape of the Earth. It's all that matters. And now I feel like even that is alone is fine. I don't care whether we're spinning or not, to be honest with you. I don't care. If somebody can prove it or we can find out, then I'd like to know. But it's not worth worrying my little butt over. I'll tell you that much. What was I going to look up right now? Jeez. You were talking about Austin and we said, so just the universe scope. By the way, somebody got me Kerbal space program. I downloaded that today. So maybe I will try to use, what is it called again? Solar scope, I think. Solar system scope. But just to show you in real time, go to solar system scope, I believe, and then immediately mute the tab before it starts playing music that's really bad. Mute tab, where is it? Mute site. There you go. Later. Start online model. I'll show you. But I want you to see that this is why I think we get carried away because we hear 1,000 miles per hour. I get it. Sounds fast. We're whipping around. The water be flying off. Okay. But in reality, and these planets are big. Obviously, they're meant to be like a cartoonish. But the orbits and the spins are correct. Click the screen to run the model. Okay. So meaning that this is where supposedly everything is right now. Okay. Now you can reduce the size by going to one of these settings and going planets or something. I don't remember. Moons, planets show hide. Don't they say the size of them or something? Thought you could put the size somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, it's not important. Oh, wait. UI size, geolocation. No. I don't know where it's at. Don't go back. Start online model. All right. I was thinking we could see. Again, I'll have to spend more time so I can play with this better, but I can't do it right now. So we're just going to have to take the big planets, not the little ones. Okay, here we go. So you'll notice down here that you can't see. Bless it. There. Now you can see. Move that over. Okay, so I'm going to press play, and you'll notice that now everything is going in actual time. Okay? So it is playing in actual time, real time. Oops, that's not real time. Actual time. Thank you. And where's this play? Actual time. Stop. Why when I hit play did it start going so fast? Pause. Oh, play. Nope, that's moving months and years at a time. Actual time. Today's February. Okay. Anyway, how do we get this to go? Keep same day time? No. Didn't we just do this the other day? I move it just this. Okay, so even this is 4 minutes per second. Okay, so that means that is 60, 120, 240 times faster than reality. Okay, 4 minutes per second is like 1 minute per 15 seconds. Is that correct? 15, 30? Yes, I think so. So that's 1 minute per 15 seconds. And if you look here, we'll zoom in to look at the Earth. This is as fast as it's spinning in reality. If this is the real world, if this is the model that is true, then the Earth is spinning this fast. So do you think that water and people would fly off of this Earth? Look how fast it's moving. It's moving way faster than real time. And I was wrong when I said, yeah, it is correct. So it's 240 times faster than reality. Look at this. So we can see it spinning here, but it's 240 times faster than reality. I wish I knew how to set this thing back so I could do actual time, but now it doesn't look like it's playing. So weird. I thought that this was made more sense before. I don't know why. Actual time, and if I press play, it's going to go like crazy. Oh, now it's moving at that. Okay. Slow down a little bit. No. That's the most you can do. Oh, that's all we can do. So anyway, but you should get it. 240 times. So it's spinning 240 times slower than this. Okay. So, and then you're talking about you said the slow up and the speed up, or the slow down and speed up of the orbit. Okay. First of all, and people say, well, we'd feel this because it's in a circle. No, it takes a whole year to go around. So it means that the Earth moves 1 degree a day. That's it. Now, when it gets to one side or the other, it's going. And again, I hate this. I'm not teaching the globe, trying to explain to you where your arguments are not valid by saying that it speeds up and slows down. The speed is negligible. Okay. If you're going 66,000 miles per hour this way, and then it goes to 66,700, and then it goes to 66,400 and 66,200. You wouldn't notice that, just like if a plane is going 550 miles per hour, and then it goes 540, and then it goes 530, then 560, you don't know that. Okay? Even though it's accelerating, you just don't know. It's too much of a minute change. And that's what's happening on the Earth. Now, if we were going this fast, if we go like this, okay, now we have problems. The Earth is spinning too fast. We're going to fly off of it. The universe is spinning too fast. We're going to die. Hold on. It's already 2028. It's 2029 now. We didn't even pay attention. So if things were going this fast, we'd have an argument, but we don't. What just happened to that? Oh, I thought something flew out into the Oort cloud for a second. Whoa, Siri's. Oh, wow. It just survives out there? Anyway, if this was what's going on, we would have problems, but that's not what's going on. So just recognize size and scale. That 1,000 miles per hour is fast, but People in the Concorde went 1,000 miles per hour in a plane, and they didn't really notice. So the Earth is way bigger than the Concorde, and I don't think you would notice. Did I used to think that? Yes, that was one of my talking points. I thought that we are spinning 1,000 miles per hour. That doesn't seem realistic. We know what the gravitron does, throws people to the outside. How could it be that, you get all these questions? But then when you see that your map is wrong, and not just a little wrong, but very positively, absolutely wrong, there'll never be a day that flat Earth is correct. You will not wake up and somebody magically figures it out. We've seen in reality that the sun does not match any flat Earth that will ever exist. I told you at the beginning. We could try it again if you want. Do you want us to try drawing the map again? We could start with something different if you want. We could start with the continents, put those down, and then it's the AE map again. Unbelievable. But you can keep holding on because other people say it's a false dichotomy. It's a false dichotomy. You don't even know what the other... Yeah, you're making it up. There is no false dichotomy when there's only two options. The option is sphere or flat. Tell me again it's a false dichotomy. But you don't know. It could be something else. What else? Well, it could be something. Could be holographic mirage. Yeah, I guess so. Good point. Let's go with that idea. All right. Anyway, that's solar system scope. Go there if you want to play around with giant balls. All right. So let's go back to here. Where are we at? Unplugged. There we go. Thank you. And we've got here. Do I think Austin is retarded? No, I didn't say that. I think that there's enough evidence that Austin should see that the AE map has been destroyed. He says he doesn't conform to a model. And to me, that's just that he never will, because there's never a model that will work. So forever, he must believe in mystery head case flat Earth. And I just won't do it. It allows you just to say anything. Oh, well, yeah, it's this, and it's etheric, and it's etherical, and because Michelson Morley and stuff. And again, to me, the evidence is clear. You can go watch the rocket launch tomorrow. You can watch the rocket launch I did last week. The rocket is gone. It's missing for 1 minute and 5 seconds. And this is not a biased experiment. What did I do? I said, oh, there's a launch going on? Great. I'm going to go film it. No bias. I'm going to go film the launch. I took my little truck out, set up my tripod, set up my camera, started filming. Then the rocket launches. Then I see it on my horizon, keep filming it, come home, match it up with the MECO, and then take a look. Which model represents reality? On the globe Earth, they say, oh, it's 25,000 feet until you could see anything because it drops that much at 177 miles. Oh, really? So I wouldn't see the rocket till it's at 25,000 feet? That's correct, sir. Okay. What does the flat Earth say? Well, there's a mountain in front of you that's 3,000 feet, 91 miles away from you. So when we draw the line, we see that you'll see it about 5,000 feet. All right. So we got our test. Do we see the rocket at 5,000 feet or do we see it at 25,000 feet? We do it, and clearly it pops out at about, I think it was like 28,000 feet. Where was it for 1 minute and 5 seconds? And the answer is, of course, vanished land. And you can't tell the height of a rocket based on its launch time. That's a new one. I just came up with that one. You guys can use that if you want. Basically, any evidence that goes against you, just immediately declare that you can't use that evidence. It's the best way to do it. It's like, I could just say I'm 6'8", and somebody says, Jaren, you're not 6'8", you're 6'3". No, I'm 6'8", dude. I'm 6'8". Well, we're going to use this. No, it's completely separate. No ruler. You cannot use a ruler to determine the height of people. It's just not allowed. They're completely separate entities. They exist outside of each other. I mean, don't you guys get this? We can't tell the height of people with a ruler. Idiots. It's not moving the goalposts either. It's clear facts. They're separate things. One's a wooden piece of stick and one's a human being. They're different. They don't correlate. Figure it out. All right, let's keep going. We've got Mars Science says, does the Earth spin? It certainly seems to be the model that matches reality. So there you go. I do think that even Einstein said that, can't really tell that the Earth's moving. I do believe that if relativity is true, it means that there is no preferred resting place. So that means that if you're on the sun, the Earth moves. If you're on the Earth, the sun moves. That's kind of what Einstein said. So all the universal forces would work the same if the entire universe is moving around us or if the Earth was spinning. It's the same forces. So you would still have Coriolis. You would still move the Foucault's pendulum. You would still have all that stuff. So I'm not saying that I believe that because I haven't looked into it enough. However, I do think it might be something that's really not answerable, so it doesn't matter. And that's what I mean. It just doesn't matter. Like, I'm going to live my life like there is a creator, like I will be judged at the end of my life, like I want to be a good person, regardless of whether the earth is spinning or not. I'll never be the kind of person that's like, wait, the earth is spinning and it is a big bang? Fuck it. I'm going to go rape some girls. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. I'm going to be a good person regardless. Okay? So it doesn't matter to me whether we're spinning or not. It has no impact on my life. I don't feel the spin. So it doesn't really matter. Again, when we were being lied to, or I thought we were being lied to about the shape of the earth, I taught flat earth. I no longer think we're being lied to about the shape of the earth. I don't even think, as crazy as this sounds, I don't think it's possible to lie to people about the shape of the earth. So I do think that that's because the creator put us here. And so the sun simply tells you where you live. All you need to do is mark the sun, watch the sun. You could even use Polaris. I mean, I did hear Austin say the other day, we don't know the size of the earth because the Bible says we don't know the size of the earth. You can go in your car tonight, mark a place on a map that's straight north of you, 69 miles, drive there, measure the, I know it's on it, you can only do it on a flat baseline because you can't, heaven forbid, we measure an angle on a curved. It's just so stupid. Scammer. But you can go out and measure the angle to Polaris. Let's say it's 37 degrees. Great. Now drive north. And when you do 69 miles, you'll measure Polaris again. And now it's going to be 38 degrees. Okay. Why is that? Well, it's because the earth works every 69 miles. That is a line of latitude. Guess how many lines of latitude there are? 360. Anybody want to take a guess what 69 times 360 is? It's about 24,901. I think it's 24,880 or something. Anyway, we do know the shape. We do know the dimensions of the earth. And you can go and prove that for yourself. You don't need anybody. You don't need anybody. Okay? And here's the way we know that. Anybody can go and measure their line of latitude, whether they're down in the south, whether they're up in the north, whether they're in Russia, whether they're in Bugoslavia. It's this new place they combined. You'll learn about it. It's going to be in the news a couple days. You can go to the Gulf of the United States. What's it called? Gulf of America. You could go to the Bajas. You can go to the Salton Sea. And wherever you go and do that measurement, it will work. So that's called collective knowledge, to where you're like, oh, if everybody else can do that, nobody's reporting that it's wrong. Therefore, we know the shape of the earth. We know that it's 24,901 miles in circumference. Not exactly. I'm sure it varies at different places. It's regardless. It doesn't matter if it's 24,901 or 24,880 or whatever. It doesn't matter. The problem is saying that we can't tell the size of the earth because the Bible says we can't is a little ridiculous when we can. So I guess if we let the Bible just say what it wants and we're like, oh, I believe what the Bible says. Okay, you can do that. It also says to grab the head of a turtle dove, rip it off, and then drip the blood on the altar 7 times because God likes turtle dove neck blood 7 times on the altar. It's definitely the creator that created me. I'm all for that. I'm all for whatever God does. Slaughter turtle doves. It's cool. I'm kidding. Of course, that's not the creator I believe in. We've got the zero spin. We answered that, right? What's the word on your upcoming radio channel? We are still going to need some more people. We don't have a full schedule at all yet. And it will not be, well, I won't say that yet. 2 weeks might be enough time. That's the plan. It's going to be Rebels Radio. We've got a couple shows. We've got a day show lined up, a couple people ready to do shows. I want to do a nightly show. So it'll be fun. We're looking forward to it. Keep an ear out for it. You've said over and over this stream and previous streams that flat earthers lie. Flatzoid is in the south. Dave lies. Where's the line? Is it 0 or 1 or is it 0.95 or 0.05? Is that possible? Okay, Flatzoid is in the south. Yes, he is. So what I'm saying is that they believe in the flat earth. Flatzoid's a liar, though. I'm not going to protect that. I mean, the guy lies out of, he confuses himself. I have to take all that back. Flatzoid, yeah, he lies, and Dave lied to me in an email. So, Dave obviously has his own facts. So if you guys remember, he did a show where he told everybody on the show, oh, all my real friends answer the phone when I call them. If I call Witsit, he answers the phone. If I call this guy and Vika, they answer the phone. But JeRant doesn't answer my calls. That's what he said. Before I had ever said a word when I got back from Antarctica. I said, that's weird. I don't remember Dave calling me. So I looked through my phone logs, 3 months. He hasn't called me. So I'm like, that's really rude to say that to people when you didn't call me. So how did I not answer? So I wrote to him in an email and I said to him, and hey, don't say that shit about me not calling. I looked at my phone logs. You never called me. His response to that was, yeah, but when you were texting me a bunch of paragraphs, I told you, call me, stop texting me. and you continued to text me. That's what I was talking about. That's what he said in the email. Oh, that's what you were talking about? When you told your audience that I'm not a good friend because I don't answer the phone calls, but your other friends do. But now in an email, you're saying, oh, well, it's actually because you didn't call me when you were texting me, and I told you stop texting me to call me, and you didn't call. It's obviously the equivalent of me not being a good friend because I don't answer the phone. I mean, you're just making that up. So the other thing was, it took me a week at least, and the people who were bugging me about it know that. They were bugging me about the app, saying, JeRant, the app's not secure. I said, okay, I'll call Dave. Dave, the app's not secure. Okay, I'll talk to my developer. No, they're saying they can get to, no, they can't get to anything. They can't get to passwords. They can't get to any of that stuff. It's all blocked. Nope, they're telling me they could. They got to passwords. They got to people's addresses. Nope, no, they couldn't do it. I've already checked. It's just the leaderboard's only the leaderboard. Okay, great. The next day, same people telling me, JeRant, the app is still wide open. We now found your password. Is this your password? I'm like, son of a bitch. Dave, they were able to get my password. Well, it could have been from somewhere else. No. It's the password for the app, Dave. They're in the app. They can see it. It's a spiritual attack. Nope. They've got in the app, Dave. They're in the app. It took a week until I had to show him a picture of his house that was given to me, a photo of his house. They got his address, sent a photo of his house, and then he's like, well, tell me if they can get my password, then I'll know that they're in. So I told him, can you get his password? A couple hours later, I sent him his password. At that point, he knew that they were in. It was a week later. Here's the funny part. In the email, I said to him, and dude, you didn't listen to me for 7 days when I was telling you the app was insecure. He wrote back. Let me give you his exact words because I don't want to screw this up. His exact words were hilarious. He lives in a fantasy land. So you're right. I can't say he doesn't lie, or else he believes it. But that's what I told my wife. I think he believes it. Like he just convinces himself that that's what happened. Let's go back and let's go with, where is it at here? There we go. Okay. So he said, as far as the data leak on the app, when you told me, I immediately said I was sorry and did everything I could to stop the data leak that was done by your now friend McToon. Wait, what? You've never said you're sorry. Why would you say you're sorry when I first told you? They didn't get my address until like the 6th day. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I should not have to fight with people that cannot be honest. I'm just an honest person. I'm not lying about any of that. It's just so funny. And he says, if you think people can't find where you live other than the data leak on the app, well, that's just naive thinking. But okay, it's my fault. Thinking you have to move because of that, well, that's your choice. Okay. Again, nobody ever found my address until I was shown a picture of my house. And then I was like, oh, now they got it. 7 years, nobody ever found my address. So you can say that people can find it other ways, but nobody ever did and nobody cared, nobody tried. But then when your app was open for 7 days, they were in there doing who knows what. Probably know my underwear size and, all kinds of things I don't want them knowing. So thanks. Because I put that my underwear size in the profile. Anyway, so that's just his. I don't know if this is like some sort of a legal document where he's like trying to say things so that in the future he doesn't get in trouble for it. I don't really know. But yeah, what he said here, when I told him not to, let me see what my exact words was. I said, where's that other email? Where's the original one? Right here. And I said to him, just link. Okay. Obviously we both know that isn't true. I didn't say a word about, okay, here we go. I said, I checked my logs for 3 months and you didn't call once. You claimed when you called Witsit, he answers, and so does everyone else. Again, this is just lies. No way Witsit answers your phone calls. I had already been told by somebody that Dave has a plan to start saying I wasn't a good friend. And that's exactly what the thing that you said already. And it was exactly the line you used on the show. His response is, check our text messages. I kept saying, stop texting me and call me. And you sent 50 paragraph texts after. That is what I was talking about. That's what you were talking about when you told an audience that I'm not a good friend because I don't answer your calls. But that's, just no lie. I mean, it seems honest to me. It's on the up and up. All right. Anyway, is that what you're talking about? Flatzoid obviously should realize he lives in the South. He definitely lies about his stupid app where he's like showing an angle and what direction it's going. And he lied about Witsit when he was in the whole vape thing and changing up the story and a bunch of nonsense. And he lies about me constantly. So they did a whole video where they're like laughing at me for not realizing that a lemon was, it's just so stupid. So stupid. I went on a show where the people were asking me about a lemon. I was like, I didn't touch a lemon. Oh yeah, in Antarctica you left a lemon. I'm like, I never touched a lemon. And then come to find out it was a guy named Steve who made a video saying that I left a lemon like Gus Grissom left a lemon. But these guys spent 45 minutes making fun of me for going on a show and not knowing what was being talked about. It's like so stupid. It's like so lowbrow, just garbage, nonsense retards over there. And it's just so bad. I mean, it's painful to even deal with these people anymore. But I'm glad I'm out. They can have their fun and waste 2 months of time worrying about an experiment or observation or a trip that was very real. They don't think so. Are we done now? You've said, okay, we got that one. I think we're good. I believe we are at the bottom. Yes. We started at the bottom. Now we're here. Let me go back to questions and just see if there's any. What do I have? We got about only a couple minutes. All right. So where did we leave off? Shit. It's all refraction. I got that one. So, oops. England is my Liddy. Okay. Is the main cause of flat earth thinking knowledge comes from authority, then not trusting that authority? Then why they go on what NASA says so they can be the authority for people? Wait, hold on. Is a main cause of flat earth thinking knowledge comes from authority, correct? Then not trusting that authority, right? That's why they go off on what NASA says so they can be the authority for people. I'm sorry, I can't follow that. I don't understand. Explain how you believe the star trails would work on a ball. Perfectly. What do you mean? The ball spins and the stars have an axis, which is the axis of the Earth. So the stars are just there and the Earth spins and it causes the star trails. I mean, you can actually show that. You can actually go do that in your garage. Get a globe, put some stars in the sky, put it on the ground, spin the globe, put a little GoPro on it, and you'll see that they do the star trails. So, now, I'm also open to these stars going around the Earth, but they still have an axis point. Whatever spins, anything that spins has an axis point or has an axis turn point. I don't know what it's called. Axis point? Has an axis of spin, axis of rotation. There you go. So if the sky is spinning, there is an axis of rotation, and that would be at the north and south celestial poles. That seems a little bit, actually, to me, a little more far-fetched than the Earth spinning, causing star trails, and the stars are all just really far away and they don't move. So, again, do you think Dirth is grifting? I don't know what Dirth's doing. I think that he's going to make up any excuse, even that I got fooled and saw a fake sun but think it's a real sun. I mean, even if it means making his friends out to be retards, he'll go that route rather than to say, maybe JeRant's right, maybe there is a sun. I mean, again, is that grifting? Again, it's hard for me to say that because it's not, when I was in the flat earth, if somebody would have said I was lying or grifting, they'd be false because I believed it. So if he believes that the earth must be flat because of everything he's uncovered, and so therefore the most common or the most likely scenarios that JeRant and Austin are too dumb to notice that the sun's not real, he may believe that. I'm not going to say that he's lying because he might believe that. I mean, I'm going to say he's lying in my text messages. So if the earth is a globe, the outer lands beyond Antarctica, like described in the Book of Iron Republic, do not exist. Correct. Yes. Even if the earth was flat, you'll notice that the only way they've been able to even explain it is they're already saying that there's some sort of reflection on the dome there. So that also does away with your lands. There is no model at all that would explain lands beyond the south. So that has to be gone. Because everyone's using the dome, tell Joe Hamby to use a dome that spreads all the way out way past Antarctica. Well, you can't do it then. It's impossible, right? So clearly, the Iron Republic is just a story. Explain how you think with a given Earth radius and knowing that 8 inches per mile squared debunks that. What? I mean, do you realize that is, you cannot start your sentence that way? Because you're making me accept that premise. You said, explain how you think. Okay, so I must think what you're about to say. With the given Earth radius and knowing that 8 inches per mile squared debunks that. Why does it do that? 8 inches per mile squared debunks the Earth radius? You have to give me a little more information there. And you sun revolving around you unverifiable South Pole, how do you think that proves ball? What? Dude, go back and watch the beginning of the show. The sun sets right to left. The Tropic of Capricorn goes under the Earth to the left. Australia is under the Earth. That's the only way that the sun, south of Antarctica, is being shined on Australia. Unless you want to believe in make-believe Alfonso Soriano nonsense. And you shouldn't believe that. Because you're going to end up being the Dirtball of the week. Wait, we did that one. I don't know. We're missing some. Even though Elon Doge are coming in big and heavy government cuts, no cut to NASA, 80 million per day. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I have problems with NASA. I mean, even if they are all legit and everything they do is real, they are a complete waste of money. They have not gone anywhere since 1958 because they go back and forth with each president. It's definitely by design. It's just the way that they operate. Now there's like an argument about the astronauts being up on the space station because of political reasons, and Musk is calling them liars and stuff. Who knows what's going to happen with that? Let's see what we got here. Nick says, without TFE, would Melodome sun observations show or prove anything to you? Yes. Before I went on the trip, I said the sun was real. Now everybody immediately, the flat earthers that will be flat earthers for life, even they don't care about evidence. They just immediately went to, oh well, it's a focused point of light, or it's a refracted sun, or it's an apparent sun, which is just nonsense. Go look at Crow's footage. Look up hydrogen alpha sun, and look at all the footage by people around the world that do not have any connection to each other, that aren't scientists or aren't working for NASA. They go out with a telescope, they film the sun, and it's a physical item, has physical characteristics. You can see it. That's not what focal points of light look like in telescopes. The sun is an item. It spins. That's the way it goes. Seasons, hours, good answer. Not sure. When are you going to confront Witsit on his insane bullshit? He's been saying stupid shit. You can help him. I think he's actually not stupid. He's just lost. I reached out to him. I mean, I'm not going to bug the guy. I don't think Witsit is lying either. I think that he believes that there's enough wrong with the heliocentric model that it must not be correct. I look at it and I say there's enough wrong with it, but those are all cutting edge mystery nonsense. I mean, it's just like, I don't have to believe they know the distance to stars. Okay. You can believe that if you want. I don't think you can just take angles and be like, oh, that's a 75 trillion miles. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's like, no. And they're like, well, we can't triangulate the sun because it's too far, but you know what? We're going to do it on those stars. They're 75 trillion miles. We don't mind doing that. So, I mean, but again, this is cutting edge. The fact that we would even begin to think we knew that is a little bit rich for me. But it doesn't mean the Earth's not a sphere. See, I wanted to get to that point. Can I determine, without any help from NASA, without any help from any scientists, what the shape of the Earth is? The answer is yes. Clearly, the Earth is a sphere. And if it's not, then God is a deceiver. God made the Earth look like a sphere, be answered in a sphere, but said, haha, it's actually flat, and it's a reflected focal point of light bouncing off the inner sun from the black sun, and it's going to manifest. I mean, why would you believe that? You're then believing crazy nonsense, make-believe floofery, rather than the word sphere. And I believe that we were shown what the Earth is. So, to me, sphere is the right answer. And I'm all open to going back to flat Earth, but you have to explain a lot of things that you'll never be able to explain. Backwards moving sun. Kyle, are you getting this? Kyle, do not go in your bedroom and shine lasers on this wall and then turn around and say, see, and it now goes the other way, JeRant. It's easy. I'm not talking about that. I'm telling you to look west from South America. The sun goes right to left. Doesn't matter which way you turn. It's not going to change that. You could turn around and say, no, it's going behind me, and the other way it's going left to right. No. You're missing the point. Look west. The sun should go left to right. That's the way the sun goes on your map, but it goes right to left. Now, Kyle, I'll be very happy for you to explain that one. The answer is you can't. Welcome to Globe Earth. So I don't need to confront Witsit. I did reach out to him and said, Witsit, what do you think about my rocket observation? I said, you can do it from Florida. The next rocket launch, film it from your house, see where it appears above the horizon. And he wrote back something like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. And don't you see what you're doing? You're basically presupposing your outcome. I don't know. I just responded and said, no, that's not true. I said, I went out and observed it, didn't presuppose anything, looked at the results and said, which one do they match? That's all I did. And if that's not allowed, then we're really, it's just, let me guess. We can't look at the lights in the sky and determine the ground either. Hello, JeRant. Hello, Roman. As a thought experiment, what would you do if every conspiracy theory you still believe in also turns out to be fake? Would you just close your channel? Would I close my channel if every conspiracy theory? No, I would think that you need to explain that to people and help people come along. I think that'd be very good information. Like, for instance, if the moon landing is real, I would love to tell people that. I don't think it is. But if we sit down with a McKeegan and he's able to show me where I'm wrong about certain things that I hold pretty dear as being fact, then it's immediately possible we went to the moon. Then I'll have to admit that. I think there's a lot of problems with it. I think listening to Neil Armstrong not be able to say the word I in interviews is pretty telling. Okay? I mean, there's linguistic experts that have listened to him and said, no, the guy doesn't know how to use a personal word like I. He doesn't use that. He doesn't ever say like, oh, when I was on one sees this on the way to the moon, one sees that. And then there's just people who make up shit about the moon landing. They don't get it. That they don't understand the implications of Michael Collins when asked about the stars, and they say, oh, we didn't see them from the surface of the moon. Then Michael Collins says, I don't remember seeing them either. Okay? Michael Collins wasn't on the surface of the moon. Michael Collins was in the craft that supposedly uses stars to travel. But yet he says, I don't remember seeing any stars either. But that's how they travel in space. They would look through the optics and see the stars. There's enough wrong. We have Neil Armstrong saying the only thing visible between the Earth in cislunar space, the space between the Earth and the sun, the Earth and the moon, is the sun and the Earth and the moon. That's it. It's the only things visible. So he's basically saying you can't see stars. But then we're told that's how the craft travels with stars. Then he's talking about being on the surface, and he says we couldn't see him in the solar corona. Again, what would they be looking at the solar corona for? They were looking at the solar corona from the craft during an eclipse. So people can't even follow the story and realize why it's very telling. We've got Leroy Chow saying that you cannot see the stars from the day side or night side of Earth. He's an astronaut, that's what he said. You have other astronauts saying, oh yeah, you can see them. You can see them in the daytime too. See them everywhere. It's a polka dot sky. You got Neil deGrasse saying, of course we can see the stars in the daytime on the craft, on the ISS, because there is no atmosphere, which is what blocks out the stars during the day. So you can see them brilliant. Yet we have Leroy Chow who says you cannot see stars on the day side or night side of Earth. You can find that. So that's a problem. Again, many people just chalk it up. We're just saying that's a little bit weird. A little bit weird to hear. Do we see a million points of light or do we see none? Again, I will point this out yet again. Never have I ever seen an astronaut go to the window of the ISS at night and show out the window. Listen again. There's no evidence of anybody going at night to the window and showing out the window of the craft of the ISS at night. Which it's not like nighttime they're sleeping. It's nighttime every 90 minutes. How could it be that we don't have any footage of any astronaut going to a window and looking outside the ISS at night? The reason why is because you don't probably see stars. Okay? So I have different beliefs now about the ISS because I've really thought about it. There has to be a reason why they use a fisheye lens from the ISS. Okay, because if the Earth's a sphere, what would you use a fisheye lens for? You don't need one. So to me, what I think actually happens is the Earth is so big that I don't think they see it as spherical from that close. So they fake it. They fake because, again, these people have no problem lying for the truth. So they know the Earth's a sphere, and they say, but it doesn't look like one from space. So we'll just use a fisheye lens and make it look like one. Same thing with the Robert Simon and the strip data. They can't get far enough away from the Earth to take a good picture, so they take strips, and then Robert Simmons says, I take the strips and I put them on a ball to make it look like people would expect it to look like on a sphere. None of that means the Earth is flat. It just means that they either can't get far enough to take a picture or what? I don't know. Again, those are weird things. We don't need fisheye lenses on crafts in space if you're looking at a sphere Earth. And they always use fisheye. You've seen it. It bends the whole craft. You can see the craft. And it looks very funky. And again, what is the reason for that? I don't know. Where did I see? Oh, yeah, it's somewhere else. I was going to say there's a new place. So would I close my channel? No, I think that I've already dropped off some applications, my resume. So it may not be long till you get your wish. Don't you worry. What do you mean? Why would I do it? We don't even know. What is my position? Do a poll about a UFO UAP debate between me and you. What are we debating? What is my position? Should we figure that out first before we decide to debate? I don't know. It's a good idea. You have the globe explanation for seasons wrong. Ask McKeegan. What do you mean? Oh, boy. Sir, I know how the globe works. I understand that. I'm saying that we have to believe that the sun is closer in our winter. That's fact. So I don't have anything wrong. I didn't say anything about the axial tilt. I said I understand what the globe is. The flat earth is a better explanation, period. It's not right. You can have some things that are better explained in one model or the other, but the model itself is wrong. Who cares? So you guys are like, this is my problem with some globers. You're so willing to protect the globe, you end up saying things that aren't true about it. Like, oh, we do use the curvature of the earth to build bridges. No, we don't. You would never do that. Yeah, but we could do the math and we figure out that the tops are 4 centimeters long. Yeah, okay, you could do the math and you figured that out. Great. It wasn't taken into account when they built the damn bridge. Nobody thinks that. You just build the fucking bridge. You're on the flat earth. The earth is flat. Everywhere you are building a bridge, flat, level. Remember, 660 feet, only 1/8 of an inch of curvature. Do you think they factored that in? Oh, can you make a steel bar 1/8 inch smaller than the other steel bar because we're going to do this bridge, and if we don't do that, the bridge is going to fall in the water. It can't make it. It's just you don't need to protect the globe like that. It's like people who try to protect the plane flying and it does nose down. Don't worry about that. It's so little all at every moment that it doesn't even affect it. The reason it's called a plane is because it flies above the plane of the earth. At every point that it's flying, it's above the plane of the earth. When is it going over a curve? It never is. People can't grasp this. It's because you guys have lied to them to the point where they now think that the plane does go over curves. Because you've had to say that. You just feel like you have to protect the globe. Well, don't protect it with lies. It's always flying over a plane. When is it ever not above a plane of the earth? If I just said every 660 feet is 1/8 inch of curve, then when is it flying over more curve than that? It's not. That's all it's ever doing. And really, same thing with the earth. The earth doesn't, plane and the earth curve that much that it's so little that you don't have to worry about it. Think about how great that is. If God created the earth as a sphere, it's huge. It keeps us all in one place. Everything pulls to the center. It's kind of cool. And then he made it so that everywhere on the sphere is flat. Why would God do that? I don't know, because it allows us to build bridges, build roads, build canals, build houses, use a water level, use a spirit level. Water finds its level. It's a brilliant design. And yet we have Christians shitting on it now. Why? Because they want to believe in something different than the Creator made. That's on them. I've already done my apologies. I've already said my sorries because I actually had a globe hanging back here that said fake on it. And it used to spin around and it used to say fake. I had to apologize. I had to say, all right, my bad. My bad on that. But again, the good news is that nobody's doing that on purpose. You're doing it because you think it's true. Just saying. Mark my words, the earth will never be flat. It's fact. Doesn't matter if Witsit believes it. Doesn't matter if Jesus de Cristo comes back and he believes it. It will never be flat if you believe in reality, and things have to match that. If you want to believe in the Blair Witch Project and you want to believe in ghosts and phantasms and manifesting refracting suns that have the same sun spots and don't ever do anything but appear where the globe says it should be, you could believe that. But just don't get into scientific conversations then. Josh Kelly's back says, so it's all refraction, Jaron. You accepted an explanation for star trails, but now take the sun's unknown as proof against flat earth, the selective skepticism. No, it's not. Take the sun's unknowns. There is no unknowns of the sun. Again, do we know what it's made of? No. They say they do, but I don't have a clue. Do we know how far away it is? No, we don't need to know that. Do we know that it's above the Tropic of Capricorn on December 21st, and it does not leave the Tropic of Capricorn? Yes. Do we know it's on June 21st on the Tropic of Cancer? Yes. Do we know on the equinox it's above the equator? Yes. Okay, great. So it has a known path, right? Yes, it does. Okay, great. So can we take a map that somebody hands us and say, I'm going to walk around with this map, and if it matches the sun, then there's a chance that the map is correct. But if it doesn't, then the map is incorrect because the sun is correct. So if the map doesn't match it, we don't say the map's correct, but not the sun. No, we know what the sun's doing. We can go test that. We don't need any help. It's not even, you don't even need the lines of the tropics. Think about it. You could go to Australia if you wanted, watch the sun on December 21st and watch where you have no shadow, then go south of that and you're going to have a shadow. So you go back, you say, okay, this is the limit of the sun's path. It doesn't go past here. It doesn't matter how high it is. 9 million miles, 90 million miles, 900 million miles, or 9,000 miles. Doesn't matter. The sun is above the Tropic of Capricorn. Period. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what it's made of. It could be a bowl of God's piss. It's God's piss bowl. It flies around in a known orbit, and it brings light and heat and piss to everyone. Isn't God great? It doesn't matter what it is. It's my argument would still be the same. Do we know its path? Yes, we do. Is it above the Tropical Capricorn? Yes. Okay, great. Let's take this map. Let's look at it. Oh, no, this has the sun going the wrong direction. It has the sun going over here. It's impossible. The Tropical Capricorn going right, it goes left. So then you should be able to reach the conclusion. You don't need any help. You don't need to believe in any YouTube creators. You don't need to believe me. You just need to hear what I'm saying and go, oh, you're right. I should be able to figure this out on my own. In the north, we see the sun set left to right very clearly. Why is that? Because that's the direction it goes on the sphere. In the south, it goes right to left. Why is that? Because that's the direction it would go on a sphere. Does it match the flat earth? Not in any way. Not in any way. Do I feel stupid for believing it? Yeah. But again, my belief rested on the south being a lie. That's what I believed. When I was shown that it's not a lie, end of conspiracy belief. The south is no longer a lie. So the sun does what the sun's supposed to do there at 79 degrees south. It did what the globe earth calls for. Every sunrise and every sunset and every angle from the entire globe earth is correctly predicted by a globe earth. Again, I don't need to go through this with you. It's impossible to take somewhere that people live and map it onto a ball and then make them believe it with observations matching. It's impossible. If there's a sun that goes above a flat earth, it has a specific path and it has a specific thing it does. If you put people on a sphere, but they're really looking at the sun over here on the flat earth, then it won't match the observations of the sphere. Simple. The fact that we can go to any place, and again, you just need to check your place. Go to SunCalc, check your place and the sunrise, sunset tomorrow and the angles. If they match, recognize that nobody knew you were going to SunCalc today. So everybody else in the earth also could have done the same thing and would have gotten their exact times and angles. Why doesn't Flat Earth have that? Where's Flat Earth's map that we can do that and know that everybody... No, there's no such thing. Flat Earth cannot predict one sunrise, sunset. So the only reason I continue to do this, and it's kind of frustrating, is because I do think there is some good people left on that side that maybe just need to... I just need to get a little bit more into their head, and then I'll let it the block fall. Let the wall crumble. Because it's important that it does. I think that you can overdose on red pills. You can become jaded. You can then assume you are so into it that you would rather think that I'm a liar for 10 years. I've been placed here by the CIA. Some bullshit. Rather than to accept that you were wrong, that we all were wrong. That's another thing. Like Nick Havoc, myself, Austin Thompson, like we are all Rose 777. We were all accepting the fact that we were wrong. It's part of this. You have to say, okay, I was wrong. I led people down the wrong path. I told people things that weren't true. Not lying, just believing something that wasn't true. And it teaches you, be a little more careful next time. Be a little more careful next time. So I have to be a little more careful. I get that. But to just hold on to the flat earth, even though it's been debunked, is an embarrassment. It can never be flat. You'll never wake up and all of a sudden the Tropical Capricorn goes the other way on a flat earth, or that somebody finds a map or like, JeRant, look at this map. The Tropical Capricorn goes left. Oh, that's great. So Australia's over there then it ruins everything. How is that possible? Now the sun's going the wrong way. Okay. It's the craziest thing that I've ever seen, because it's kind of self-explanatory. I mean, really, we shouldn't have been this far. And again, I do want to blame Stephen Hawking's program, PBS. Those guys had an opportunity. Remember, if there was 10 other things you could point to me and you said, look at JeRant, on these 10 other mainstream shows, they did show you that the shape of the earth. They didn't. There's been 2, and they both were fake. There's been 3, if you count Behind the Curve, and all 3 were fake. So I want Globers to recognize, oh, okay, that's why there's flat earthers. Right. So let's tell those guys who fake those experiments to get back out there, do them right, and show it to be true. And then, or show us that it's not true and then explain why. I'm pretty sure what happened with the Stephen Hawking, this is my opinion, or my guess, is that they realized that you couldn't hide that helicopter behind that water. So they're like, well, we know it's 6 miles. We know that the drop is 24 feet. Let's just CGI it because we know that the Earth's a globe and we'll call it a day. That's what they did. And they should know better, because their thought is, well, we already know the Earth's a globe. It's no harm, no foul. And all the Globers here, and they're like, yeah, it's no harm, no foul. They had to fake it. Okay, great. But you've now told people that you can do something, and we've realized that you faked it. So you have the responsibility, you have the duty to do it again. And if it can't be done, then explain why not. It's pretty simple. You didn't take the telescope into account. The curvature over 6 miles with a 3-foot observer is 10 feet. So if you tried to fly a helicopter over there and hide it behind water, guess what? Ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work. You fucked up. The curvature on 6 miles is not 24 feet unless you're ground observing, and we know that they weren't. They were looking through a telescope 3 feet high. So I shouldn't be able to figure out what's wrong with your science program. Okay? You should be able to figure that out and not just be like, fake it. Let's just fake it. Big deal, let's fake it. And there's not selective skepticism. It's just dumb to say. You accepted an explanation for star trails. So it's not accepting an explanation. Okay? It can be shown. Go find Universe Sandbox. Look from underneath the Earth, spin the Earth, and watch what happens to the stars. They star trail. Now do it from the south. What happens to the south? They star trail the other way. Weird. So is that accepting an explanation for star trails? Or is that seeing evidence that it works? Now again, I feel like we're on a flat Earth. Earth looks flat to me. We don't feel like we're spinning. So if the flat Earth had a better explanation or an equal explanation, then I would be a flat Earther. The thing is, the flat Earth strikes out over and over and over again and doesn't even try to come up with explanations. They simply say nothing burger, and you can't look at the things in the sky, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. And say things like, they've chanted for 2 years on Nathan Oakley's show that you can't get angles to stars from a curved baseline. It's the dumbest thing ever, and this is how you know Nathan Oakley is a scammer. Okay? Because it's so dumb, and he can never admit it. He has to hold on to that because it's his debate show and they don't ever get anything wrong. He's never been wrong in his life. Even when he gave his daughter, wiped her face and dropped an iPad at the same time, it wasn't wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? You just need to accept that, again, think about outside your house right now. If it's a sphere or if it's flat, could you go outside and measure your angle to Polaris? The answer is yes. It doesn't matter in my front yard whether the Earth's a sphere or flat. Can I get an angle to Polaris? These guys have been telling you for 2 years, like retards, that we can't get an angle to a star from a curved baseline. Where's the curved baseline in my front yard? Do these people not know how spheres work, large spheres? Do I need to show the video again? Could you get an angle to a star from that flat part of the Earth, even though it's a sphere? Again, these are not even difficult, but this is what we have to deal with. People like Nathan Oakley have wrecked the flat Earth. Other people, they've all done it. They've all, what's that guy's name? Level Earth Observer. I'm a demonstrable realist. Oh, you're a fag. Let's be honest. Come on. Demonstrable real. What the hell is that? I only believe in demonstrable reality. Oh, cool. What the fuck are you doing? I only believe in demonstrable reality, which is, it can't be the sun going, it doesn't mean the map. Then just give up. I hate these people who are like, I'm just ambiguous. Oh, I'm in the middle all the time. It doesn't matter. I only believe what I believe. I'm a demonstrable believer. Are you? Yeah, I just believe in demonstrables. Okay, great. Good for you. More power to you. All right, I'm going to go. I don't see JeRant. How do you cope with being the freaking man? Thank you very much. Pull a little square bear. Appreciate that. What do you take to convince you that human orbital spaceflight, astronauts on board the ISS? So I think I'm in a unique position. I don't know how far it's going to go. Obviously, with John Timmer, he wrote back and said, why are you angry? So I need to watch my email etiquette. But they should let me talk to an astronaut on the ISS. I don't see why children are able to do it. If you are a second grader at Timbuktu, middle school or kindergarten, whatever, what is it called? Primary school. Did those people all get up and they read prepared things? What is it like using a bathroom on space? And then you got some scientist called astronaut who gives the answer. So if they're able to do that, then I don't understand why I can't have an interview where I say, all right, is that your friend next to you? Can you have him do a hula hoop around you? Have him use his hand to go underneath you, on the sides of you, on top of you? Great. Do a somersault. Thank you. Now turn 45 degrees. Do a somersault. Great. You guys are up there. It's that simple. It's that easy to prove that they're up there. They cannot fake in real time if I'm telling them to do sideways turn, other turn, somebody checks above them, sideways, on the sides, underneath them. And if it's in real time, then they can't know what I'm going to say, so there's no way to prepare for it. If they're actually up there, that should be something they're willing to do and welcoming, but they will never do that. So that makes me question. Makes me question a lot. There's other things like that I've said. Like if there's a remote control car on Mars, then NASA should be like, hey, there's people who think we don't have a remote control car on Mars. There's this YouTuber that says he'll come here and film it and show his audience. Let's film show somebody driving it and what it goes through the day and how the pictures come in. Show me all that. But they will not show you that. Why? What is it national security? Is the fucking robot doing some, Chinese spying or something? Is it, looking in on Russia to have cameras of the Kremlin? I don't get it. I don't get why there's this disconnect between people and science, and we're just supposed to say, oh yeah, they got a remote control car on Mars for sure. And it landed because it had balloons that blew up, and then it landed and bounced a bunch of times, and then it opened up, and there comes the rover. And we didn't get it wrong or anything. It's just perfect. I mean, it's a joke. So if it's real, then I want to tell people it's real. If those things are legit, I'll be the first one to say, guys, this is legit. So I want to look into doing stuff like that. Maybe NASA will have me at Goddard. I'm not rude. I'm not, I won't be rude to people. I just want to see what they're claiming. And that's it. Just like I did in Antarctica. Was I rude down there? No, I went down there, saw that I was wrong, came back, or even there, admitted I was wrong. I have the capability to do that. I don't think many people do. So if I'm wrong about there being a Mars rover, show me. All these observatories all over the state of California and all over these states, bring me to an observatory and show me these so-called planets and these things that you think are legit. Again, I've been to an observatory and they've only looked at the moon. And they're like, we're looking at the moon. And I'm like, I can look at the moon from home, dude. Why don't I look at the moon tonight? And then we walked around and everybody's looking through their telescope. There was like nothing to see in anybody's telescope except for one guy had the entire crowd there. And he had a big telescope and it was running all kinds of cables to a computer. And we were all looking at a computer screen of what he said was on the telescope. But can I see in the telescope? No, it's drawing. Yeah, but that looks like it's just computer graphics. Like, what is that? So again, it was very peculiar that that's all we could see at a night at an observatory. But I will tell you, I did see something up there. When you're up high at those observatories, you see so many satellites or whatever that is. There's lights that move across the sky. Don't know what they are, but that was pretty crazy. And then it was on April Fool's, and my wife and I walked away and we said, hey, by the way, the Earth's flat. And everybody said, ha, 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 April Fool's. And we're like, no, you're serious. But anyway. All right, good enough. You could look at Rob Skiba's final balloon experiment. I interviewed the guy that ran it. And, oh, yeah, I remember that. Lighting would strike me down right now upon seeing the curvature. What? Skiba remarked, I wish lightning would strike me down right now upon seeing the curvature. Really? I remember that guy he's the guy who told us how many government balloons go up a day. I remember that. You misunderstood my comment. The annual variation in the Earth's distance from the sun is so small compared to the 93 million miles. It's 3 million miles, bro, out of 93. Okay, so small. It's too small to have a noticeable effect on seasons. Ask Dave. If I thought that had an effect on the Earth, then I would say that. I understand what their opinion, I understand the position. Regardless of that, the better explanation is the flat Earth explanation. The sun's above the north, it's close to the north, it's the summer for the north. The sun goes to the outside of the south, it's close to the south, it's the summer for the south. When it's far away from the north, then the north has winter. When the sun comes back and it's far away from the south has winter. You're telling me that's difficult? That's not a good explanation? I don't get what you're saying. It's okay to admit that the flat Earth has a better explanation for something, or at least not better, but it's easier, it's better understood, it makes more sense logically. It doesn't mean the Earth's flat. Clearly the Earth can't be flat. So it doesn't matter how good the explanation is for the seasons. But it's not something we need to argue. You don't need to convince me that the globe has a better explanation for the seasons than the flat Earth. What is that doing? It doesn't. It doesn't have a better explanation. To think that it's just crazy. I know what you're saying, but the sun is clearly, you can feel it's right above me. The sun's right on me. And then to say, oh, it's 3 million. I mean, the sun is huge, but 3 million miles is a lot. So in my summer, it's 3 million miles further from me. It just is weird. That's all. So anybody would admit that that's a weird thing. It doesn't mean it's incorrect, and it doesn't mean that you would feel more heat if it's closer. Not even saying that. I just said the flat Earth model explains it better. I don't think there's a big deal with that. Good times create weak men. PBS are too incompetent to properly do experiments. I agree. Too lazy to fix screw-ups. Too cheap to pay for a redo. Can't admit they lie, and Globers need to demand better. Thank you, Philip Wright. That's all I want. It would be huge in my book if they just came out and said, hi, we're PBS. We wanted to apologize. We did a show years ago where we were trying to show the shape of the Earth. For this reason, we couldn't get it done. We couldn't rent the helicopter the next day, and we made a poor decision to fake it because we know that the Earth's a sphere. We apologize. We will know better than to ever fake experiments again. And to make it up to you guys, we're going out there next month on the 3rd. You guys can all come if you want. You got to pay your own way. We're going to be at that lake. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it correctly. and you can all see it, and we'll film it, and we'll put it on the internet for you. Ta-da. Ta-da. And if you think people just call it fake, no, they called the fake one fake. They called the fake one fake. Do you understand? People will not call it fake if it's just real. But again, we don't have that. We don't have an example of that because they faked it. So that's not good. I agree that the axial tilt explanation for seasons is harder to visualize. That's all. And understand than other explanations, like the elliptical orbit distance. Nevertheless, it's correct. McKeegan can explain. I agree with that statement. You are right. It is correct. Many things could be said to make more sense on a flat Earth, but it cannot be the correct shape of the Earth. So it means the Earth's a sphere, regardless of our little feelies, regardless of what our senses say. Again, people want to say, well, I trust my senses. No, you don't. You don't trust your senses. Your senses tell you there's no little bugs on your couch, and there is. And your senses tell you that there's no little dust mites in your pillow, but there is. Okay? So you can figure that out by going and get a microscope. We choose not to because we would rather just ignore it, but we don't go by our senses. We don't go, oh, our senses say this, and so our senses say... No, I mean, we'd like that to be the case, but it's not really the case, right? We do not feel like there's bugs in our tummies. Nobody's like, oh, I just felt a little bug eat a little side of my tummy. No, our senses don't allow us to recognize that our stomachs are filled with little bugs. Okay? So it might be true that our vestibular system doesn't recognize that we're on a spinning Earth. It's spinning slow. Even the 66,000 miles per hour, if it's going through a vacuum, nothing is there to impede it. I mean, again, does that seem crazy to me? Yes. But is it still viable? Does it change the shape of the Earth? No, it doesn't. It doesn't change the shape of the Earth. The flat Earth map needs to match reality, and it doesn't in any way. That's, I mean, as far as the South, at least. Again, we could be, what would you call that? Flat Earthers, not including the South. Oh, it's a Venus. Yeah, I love it. It's another Venus. So there's lots of Venuses. You could be the Venus, the Sun type, or the Venus South type. Either one. Flat Earthers, not including the South, or Flat Earthers, not including the Sun. I like it. What a chance to happen. But JeRant, the 24-hour sun means the firmament is an egg. Oh boy. You hurt my head right now. All right, I'm going to head out. It's been fun. I saw a video on that Nick channel. We don't know what it's going to, it might be bad. You might want to run. But thank you to everybody. I appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, please do so at the Cash App. You could just send me $3. It would be nice. And, you know, if everybody sent that, then I would be rich. And if not, it's okay. We'll get by. We'll figure it out. $sign Jeranism. What do we have coming up this week? So Tuesday, tomorrow we've got my rocket launch. I'd probably go live around 1:30. And then unless it gets canceled, you can check by going to space or just type in Vandenberg Launch, the first one that comes up. We've got, that's Saturday, Sunday, nothing. Monday, I've got something going on. Tuesday is the rewind for the last final experiment and get everybody back together, all as friends and pals. Dave McKeegan is the shill, though, by the way. The video is correct, I think. Is that what's going on? I think that's it that I can think of. All right. Let's see what he's got. I saw a song over here. Where was that? It's called Flatties. And this is from 1 month ago, so it might include some negative things about me. Who knows? All right, guys, let's listen to this. So before we listen to that, I remind you guys, please do your own research. When you do, you'll never again believe that we can't tell the shape of the Earth by the lights in the sky. Somebody tell Dave that we can, please. Thank you. Till next time, much love to you guys. Peace. This one doesn't sound like it's going to be as good as the last one. Let's hope. Let's pray. Oh, by the way, I was going to start this week, but we'll start next week. My plan is to, instead of the outro, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw up this one here, and I'm going to throw some beat like this, and I'm going to freestyle. It's going to be called Friday Flow. It's going to be exciting, isn't it? Yo, like that. So it's going to be cool. Anyway, we'll start that next week since we are doing this one today. Does that make sense? I think so. All right. Got lots of beats on here. I got any beat anytime. Look at that. Yeah. The Earth ain't flat. It's a 3D sphere. Went to Antarctica. Anyway, we'll get there. I wasn't ready for that. Anyway, here we go. Oopsie. That's not what we want to do. Turn this one off. Sorry, too many things playing. There we go. Till next time. Peace.
Truth's the goal. They want to know more. Proofs in store. The science they ignore. they would rather snore, stay asleep a little more. False dreams galore, it's not a Home Depot floor. Tops of boats from ashore, why can't we see more? Hot magnetic core, nowhere to explore. We are lied to like it's 1984. Everything is fake, the clueless flirts roar. Mind controls the goal, shills have been installed. We can't see the curve, we are way too small. Ignorant of science, but claim to know it all. But when you ask for answers, the conversation stalls. Why do things fall? The answer's gravity. No one can explain it, makes no sense to me. It's a mystery, no need to cry and pout. Nuh-uh, all you want, but the math checks out. Flatties, believing everything is fake. Flatties, it's the jokes they hate. Flatties, thinking they already know. Flatties, welcome to the clown show. Confusion, delusion, flatties living in a cult. If you ask them why, it's the public school's fault. Tears flow of salt, their model got wrecked. They remember things wrong, Mandela effect. Flatties dumb as heck, go back and hit your bong. He didn't die in prison, your mind's completely gone. Feeling tick-tock strong, thinking water lays flat. Can't accept the fact, the earth's round and fat. It all works on the map, go back and take a nap. Pull Dave's app, the grift is over, it's a wrap. The thing is crap, sun's in the wrong spot. Dox yourself quick and become a blue dot. Total brain rot, to say it's all fake. Can't admit they are wrong, their ego's at stake. Antarctic light destroys the whole hoax. If you're still a flat earther, you're a total joke. Flatties, believing everything is fake. Flatties, it's the jokes they hate. Flatties, thinking they already know. Flatties, welcome to the clown show. What is the sun and how does it work? Show them on a globe and they say you're a jerk. Simple truth hurts, can't take the mental pain. The grift is over, pizza earth down the drain. If your proof is Bible scripture, then that is pretty lame. When the sun doesn't set, means your model got slain. Pack it up, go home, you just lost the game. 15 minutes up, no more flatty fame. Once you go flat, you will never be the same. But that's not true, just need a working brain. On society a stain, don't get conned by the lies. Gain your own knowledge and believe your own eyes. Not knowing how it works, that is okay. But don't call it fake and throw it all away. Because if you do, they will laugh at you. Low down, feeling blue, alone without a clue.
I think it's pretty, I mean, he's got good things to say, Nick. Nice job. That's Nick Havoc. Check him out. He needs more subs. And that's a good song. I'll check out some other stuff. I like that song. Anyway, I think that Nick and I would get along. He says a lot of the same things that I do at this point, the way that we feel. And again, I feel bad. I'm not even sure if he's upset at me. I guess I wouldn't know that. But I could see somebody being upset at me if they're like, okay, I'm not a flirt anymore, but I was this whole time because of JeRant. Hopefully they recognize I've never lied. I just was wrong. So as soon as I found out I was wrong, I came back and didn't spend 1 minute pretending that I wasn't. So is that worth anything? Not in this world, not in the YouTube world. You are not rewarded for being honest here. Nick, I did hear Nick say in a video, he's like, oh, I like JeRant because he doesn't care. He cares so much about the truth that he torches his channel every time because, and he's right. I've done that many times where because if I feel something or I feel it's correct, I say it. And it doesn't matter how many people hate me for it and how many people leave and unsub. Go ahead. Do it. Everybody else that I've seen on YouTube, they don't do that. They will cater to their audience. They'll say whatever the audience wants them to say because they know that that's the way to stay out of people's bad sites. They'll be your friend. They'll show up in your chat every week and they'll call you king. And there's tons of people who used to do that. Be in my chats, say how great I was. Oh, we love you. Oh, you're just like my husband. Oh, you guys are the misunderstood and you're great. And then as soon as you say something that they don't believe, you become a shill. You're an idiot. You're a loser. You're a grifter. You're a pervert. You're whatever they can say. And that's not what friends do. That's not what people who care about other people do. You would find out. You would, JeRant has a different opinion. Let's listen to him. Let's respect that we've respected him for all these years. We've said he's so great. But so then respect him when he says something different than you believe. Don't just immediately be like, oh, he's saying something different. Now he's compromised. You guys have lost the plot. Nobody's compromised. Nobody's a shill. It's just people not trusting other people. And then you run to the nearest content creator that says what you want them to say. That's not a truther. That's a phoenix or something else. I don't know. All right. Much love to you guys. I'm going to go have some fun. And we will see you tomorrow for a rocket launch. Let's hope, cross your fingers that it doesn't get canceled. I hate that. Now, let's listen to, what do we want to listen to the way out? Oh, I got the JeRant song here. Under music, I believe. There we go. Talk to you guys soon. This is a song that was made before I was ever on YouTube, I promise you, even though it sounds like it's about me. It is not. It's done before me. And it's actually spelled wrong. Jaren. All right, much love, guys. Till then, peace.
I know this dude named JeRant and he's looking real fine. And no, I'm not a homo, but I gotta try to make him mine. Cause he holds all of the secrets that the ancients once kept. But the way to JeRant's heart is proving you have once leapt from a volcano or a cliff or an airplane into danger without fear, crying, screaming, waking babies in their mangers. He can smell your fear from 1,000 miles away. And if you try to deceive him, well, today's your last day. You can bet he doesn't want a coward or a liar coming up to him saying, can you be my friend? Maybe you can man it up and lay it down in front of him, show him you are strong enough to go out on a limb. He's got enough ladies, line a number on the block to fill 747's loaded number on the clock. A lot of men are crying every single day, praying for a JeRant day, but they can't afford the price to pay. All the women want him and all dudes want to be JeRant, but the fact of the matter is, there's only one JeRant. He's got an internet following that forms a giant group. He can translate ancient tablets using alphabet soup, which he rarely even does, though it fetches big money. He doesn't even need it cause he sweats pure honey. His fans send him gifts, make him gifs, jump off cliffs, just for the once in a lifetime honor of seeing JeRant take a sip of his famous oat stew. That's right, he's a stew chef. You may say, what's a stew chef? Well, you've probably never seen a stew chef cause there's only one stew chef and it's JeRant cooking it up. He's known for only filling friends and family's cups with his decadent sludge that he boils all night, every night, all night, every night. It's out of sight. He can do a dance that makes everybody pee their beds and make a mess and cause stress. He's on a mission with the Jerry Berry Blitz and the Jerry Berry Twist. He's riling up the world. You can do the Jerry Berry Blitz and the Jerry Berry Twist. You can imitate the best just like the rest. Come on, JeRant, show the world what you got now. He's gonna show you his dance, he's gonna show you his skills, his dancing skills. Check him out, y'all. Yeah. JeRant's powers grow with every fight, and every fight that he fights, he destroys his opponent and leaves a sticky mess on the ground. He wages war when provoked, and when provoked, he starts to smoke out of his butthole, and that's when you run away or die. Cities topple, buildings fall, mountains melt, and rivers stall when JeRant says so, cause he does what he wants when he wants. Sovereign nations all bow down when JeRant comes around. They know they can't match his skills, yeah, they've all heard this song. He's lived for thousands of years and caused innumerable tears and broken so many hearts, I just don't know where to start. His flow's unbreakable, swagger unshakable, his style's impeccable, and you can't do anything when he competes at Pizza Prize Bowl. Girls want to marry him, but a mate would only slow him down. And besides, you know that he would never ever share his crown. He's left everyone he's met depressed, torn up, and so forlorn. What's scary is you